damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama, and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
You're a philosopher? Yes. 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 You're a philosopher? Yes.
To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the middle. To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the center. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. I guess that is my cue to bring it on in. There's trouble in paradise. There is trouble in paradise tonight, and I must talk about this. Now, to put this production together, everything has to run smoothly. And all night, I just have to be in a mood where I'm just watching the game, because I'm watching the game. I couldn't tell any story early about what I did earlier without saying, of course, I'm watching the game. But still, when you're an American game watcher, there's a way you watch the game. And so we all know that for the game, a man needs two things. Well, he needs a 4K TV, the best you can buy, of course. And you need some bud, whatever your choice is. Or even, where's these other motherfuckers? Edibles. But most importantly, Elliot Ness. No, this isn't Elliot Ness. This is Edmund Fitzgerald, Great Lakes. Now, lately, my beer distributor has been very changed. I'll say changed. All of a sudden, my beer distributor starts liking Great Lakes. And so, when it comes time to do the show, of course, there's no Great Lakes to be had but this one. And so I had to call up my distributor and say, what's going on here? Because there's no more Great Lakes up here, and it's time to do the show. The people expect me to have at least a Elliot Ness or Edmund Fitzgerald Great Lakes. I mean, I can't represent. Then the company's going to be mad because I'm bringing their beer on every night. So right now, I am putting an official, well, what do we call it? A strike. No, not a strike, but a ban. Yes, we're going to give a boycott. That's better. We're going to boycott the beer distributor. As of right now, we're going to get a new beer distributor, and any other beer that comes onto this show will not be under the old distributor. It will not be acceptable. It's going to be like almost what happened to Bud Light. However, though, I do have this wonderful Edmund Fitzgerald from Great Lakes. Oh, and it makes you really wish that you were me right now. So, pop them if you want them. Let's get this other thing going too. All right. And you all know my favorite glass, Killian's Barrel style mug will have you. And watch this beautiful porter. See, a porter is just a little bit a darker roast. They roast the malts just a little more, so the malts have almost a little more of a smoky taste. Not quite deep as a stout, definitely not as bland as IPA. I mean, I don't mind them, but they're pretty hoppy, not malty. And again, it's telling me it's getting ready. This is the Luca Unicorn with the barbershop candy stripe. Probably need to clean it, but smoke them if you want them. All right. enough for motivation. So the Lakers showed a lackluster effort overall. And that's why I made that video. And I don't care, they copyrighted whatever they want to do. I just want to put the word out there. Because anytime you see Green leading off scoring, you know something's up. You know something's up. You know this is not normal because he is not a scorer. And like Steph tried to hint, it was good that he could, yeah, but it was scripted for that. Because he doesn't play like that all the time. A lot of times when Green plays, he stays out where he doesn't have to shoot the ball. And he can be more of a distributor. But anytime you see him sprinting up the middle, getting layups. I mean, one time it was like, no, he went baseline and the defender, and I forget which Laker it was, but it's like he just stood there. And all he did is just a little shimmy move to get around him. And the defender just like looked at him. It's like, okay, it's one of those nights. I mean, you can see the effort is not there. And Anthony Davis, I mean, isn't Anthony Davis like glass? There we go. All right. I mean, he is just like glass. But who's up in here? OTF, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Oh, yes. Hey, homie. What happened to the yayo? That's right. What's up, homie? You see the Twins walk off. I did not catch the Twins. They won again. Good. Land of 1,000 lakes. Let me say this, and I didn't want to say this now, but I'll say this now. Just so I'll put it out here, and I'll mention it later. Let's look him up. Because what I think is happening... Oh, here we go. You know what though? Oh my goodness. I want to keep that, but I want to search here. I'll search that here. Okay. I want y'all to, I don't know, sometimes people talk about people and what the hell? Why ain't it just finding him? Oh, it's a P. Okay. Yeah, right there. I see him. Here we go. Thing we needed. I'm only going to mention this, and I'm going to show this because, saying the people's name, and being part of the sacred ball game, it don't really give, it doesn't really give you an idea who this person was. So I want to show a little bit of, and I want to say this though. This is Joe Cap. Joe Cap was a quarterback that got traded here from some kind of way. He was in Canada. I mean, his career is funny. This dude is a melanated cat too. And I think he's the second, how do you want to say it? Mexican-American cat. Him and Jim Plunkett. Him and Jim Plunkett are probably the most famous. And he came to the Vikings with the Fran Tarkenton trade. Fran Tarkenton played with the Giants 4 or 5 years. He became the quarterback for the Vikings that took the Vikings to their first Super Bowl. Now, one thing that I want everybody to think about this is we see, we've seen several deaths. We've seen Bud Grant. Again, he played for Bud Grant. So Bud Grant dies, this cat dies. And we saw Felton Spencer. Do you know what I think these sacrifices are building up for? It's got to be the Twins. I mean, all these Vikings, I really think these sacrifices are for the Twins. So I'm going to put that on wax right now in May. I predict the Twins are going to win the National League pennant. I'm going to say that right now, or American League pennant. I'm going to put that on wax right now. And let's watch him. I'm not going to sound they be playing music or anything. Let's see.
About Joe Cap. Joe Cap was a true inspirational leader. Every play.
Yeah, they playing music, so. But this is him. Look at the single bar. Rolls out. Wow, strong side option. Wow, look at that mobile. Look how sweet the single bars are. I must admit, as a freshman, I wanted to wear that. And these were guys didn't have to wear single bars. I don't know who 27 is. Wow, helmet came off. Don't know him, no name on the jersey. See, there's Bud Grant. Both of them have passed recently. Both these guys have passed. That's Bud Grant. Look at Cap. Oh, Deacon Jones almost had him. Oh, Kyle Eller used to live next door to me. But look how sweet the single bars. There's Kyle Eller. But see, Bud Grant just lived. You know they was gonna mix that in. You see what I'm saying? Because he believed in, Joe Cap. Check him out, sweet he is. Look how sweet the single bar is. Look how he jump past it on the move. Jethro Pugh chasing him, getting away. Is that Renthro? Yeah, Renthro tackles him. That's here. That's where the mall, where they played is where the Mall of America is. Oh, Bill Brown. Who's catching this one? Don't know who 80 is. I should know. Oh, decided to take, look at the single bar. He tough with the single bar. He took a shot to the face with a single bar. But he won a Grey Cup. Check him out. Look how sweet he is. Look how sweet that picture is, y'all. That is sweet. That is bad. Oh, man, let's show that again. Let's show that again. Let's show that again, man. If I could put this on my wall, dude chasing me and I'm holding the ball loose. My arm is all bandaged up. This guy is chasing me, almost got me. But look at my hand is hurt. Single bar tough. Look at that. I don't even think he got on knee pads. You can't see. Football was tougher. You had to be tough back in those days. Look how tough that man is. That says man right there. That says man. Chiquino. Okay, yeah. Chiquino, which means Latin, or I don't know, Mexican brother. Ooh, is that Deacon Jones? Ooh. He took shots from Deacon. Now, I actually think that was a linebacker blitz. I want to see who that was. Who was that? That's 50. That's a linebacker. That's not Deacon. Where's Deacon? That's Merlin Olsen right there. I already saw that. This linebacker got him. Where's Deacon Jones? Wow, he's not in the play. Maybe that's Deacon right there. No, that looked like a European cat. Okay, just wanted to see. Got away, didn't get away. He's getting beat up. Look at it, man. I mean, look at this old-time football, how brave you had to be, scripted or not. Now, we just saw some, did you see this? Okay, here we go. Now, okay, look at this. Watch this. Now, we see old-time scripted football. Look how they script it. Same thing. Look. Watch how they miss. It's the same thing. The TV stuff, they just drop. Look. See? Not a real attempt. See that? Not a real attempt. Watch the next person. That was a clip. That was a straight up clip. Did you see that? He clipped him. I bet they didn't call it. That was a clip. You see this? He knocked him down from a clip. So that was illegal. Okay, did he blocked him. But look, 75 didn't catch him. So you see the same old stuff. So, see, you can't do that anymore. You can't do that. I mean, he wasn't a little dude. Wasn't a little guy. Look, that's Bubba Smith. That's John Gillum. Yeah, John Gillum. No, that was Washington. That was Washington that went to Michigan. 40 for 60. That's McMichaels chasing him. Old Vikings, boy. This is old football. Man, it used to be so cold here. I was glad I lived in Michigan. I don't know who that old guy is. That's Washington. His name. Oh, that's Bob Lee. Lee is 19. I think he got the MVP for the Vikings that season. So, sometimes, reporting that somebody passed, yeah, we're not showing who they are is kind of, I want to say Denny Crum died too. Denny Crum died. If y'all didn't know who Denny Crum was. Yeah, I can do that. Let's do that. Man, you know what? It's a couple sad stories, guys. Let me see if I can find the saddest one. They're going crazy up here in the Great White North. Who else is here? Greetings, R. Chapman. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Thank you for joining me.
Got to have vision.
Thank you, Isaiah. R. Chapman, Isaiah.
Got to have vision.
And Isaiah says, my little brother's only 8 years old of age, and when we were watching the Heat versus Knicks game, he said to me, why do they play like they don't want to win? Wish I could tell him why. That's a good point.
Got to have vision.
That's a good point. That's a good point because it's easy to see. I mean, if you really study it, it is easy to see. Let me see if this might be a couple days old, but man, up here, man. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think back. We've had all this heartache up here. I don't know where I can find it. It was up here. I don't know how far back. I don't think it was this far back. Let's see. Because I don't see it. Don't see it. Born with. Oh, that's rough. What? Objects to a plea deal for. Not sure. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Okay. But the other part, I guess. I couldn't see it. All right. Sorry. Daryl Jones, thank you for watching.
Got to have vision.
You definitely do. Oh, okay. We was talking about this a little. Oh, here's a story worth hearing. Yeah, it's a story worth hearing. And I'll say, what I'm about to show is, when you're talking about tourist attraction, these people's loot, it's interesting how some of this stuff is playing out. Okay.
This time we are hearing from the parents of the Como High School graduate who was shot and killed at the Mall of America.
Jonte Hudson's parents say they are speaking out now for several reasons, including making sure no other family experiences this kind of pain. Jonah Kaplan has the story you'll see only on WCCO.
He was special. He was one of a kind. He was a diamond in the rough. My son was Boys and Girls Club, He volunteered for a lot of things, He was hands-on. He was a people person.
Lynn and Johnny Hudson also sharing with us Jonte's special sense of style, a hobby that frequently brought him to shop at Mall of America. According to investigators, Hudson was shot and killed inside Nordstrom 2 days before Christmas.
I figured that would be a safe place for anyone. So it's supposed to be safe, right? You're supposed to be protected in a place like that, right?
The Hudsons, of course, not alone in their grief. Kirby Skull was Jonte's football coach at Como High.
You hurt for Jonte because it's like, man, this kid, he was destined to do some great stuff.
Police arresting 6 people, including 3 juveniles in connection with Hudson's death. Prosecutors so far filing charges against 4 of them, including 2 for murder. One of those suspects was 17 but will stand trial as an adult. 2 other teens are being charged with second-degree riot in the juvenile system. The Hudson saying that's not enough.
They circled him like wild animals. I saw the video of what they did to my son. And you don't do that to a human.
A spokesman for County Attorney Mary Moriarty telling WCCO News in a statement, quote, "Our obligation is to charge cases only when we have enough admissible evidence to support a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt." At Mall of America, managers not responding to our questions about whether the mall will reinstall weapons detectors they tested last year. MOA, though, promising, quote, "a multi-layered and industry-leading approach to security."
Let me say this. I think it takes me 20 minutes to go out there. I go out there every week, every other week or so. Especially, it's a great place to go walking. I mean, you walk around all 3 layers. That's damn near 3+ miles. It has its own security force and it has its own police force. And some of the stores actually have their own security. So, but okay, let's go.
Security. For the Hudsons, they just pray no one else knows this kind of pain.
It's hurtful, it's painful.
Knows this kind of pain.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, you really needed to do all this to come on TV. And, wow. I'm wondering if his afro, but it's like really, like she's dressed, and his energy, you see his energy. She's straight up, and I guess if we did green line, you see how, and this probably means they might not be together. I can't say, but that's what I'm looking at. I mean, he ain't wearing no ring, so I don't think they're together. That's the body, he's appalled, see his, he's kind of, but when they said, his style, I mean, they ain't got style. Like, why is she wearing this? This ain't even anything to protect you. This is actually but it's like, why? That's not even good. You can get good stuff. Like, why? You was coming on TV. So they caught some dudes.
Pain.
It's hurtful, it's painful. That's the kind of pain that's not in dictionaries.
Jonah Kaplan, WCCO News.
Hearings are scheduled for the suspects over the next couple of months, including a petition for a judge to allow stiffer penalties for one of the juveniles until.
Whoa, sock it to him. Sock it to him. Oh, PJ Allen, so rigged. The LeBron and Curry both boost was 55 points and they had 52 and benched with 3 minutes left. Wow. PJ Allen, what is happening?
Got to have vision.
You know this. Why is she wearing that? Man, I don't know if y'all caught it, but when they first showed the dad, I bust out laughing. Please, no disrespect for the story, but when I saw the dad, I just bust out laughing. I don't know if y'all caught it. I was like, oh, man, but they had a sad story. That ain't sad. I might have to spill the beans because I can't find it. Let's see. Because it was a sad ending. Like I was telling y'all about this thing that was up here and, attacking people. And then, wasn't really attacking people. It was just up here. Damn, it says 100 pounds of, this ain't got nothing to do with around. Huh. All right, take me back to the Great White North News. This is the Great White North News, y'all. This one. We talked about this yesterday. I went into I went in debt about this story, and this is I brought this story, and I'm going to give you the so far conclusion to this story that we just saw the other day. I got into it really deep. Oh, no. Now, I want you all to remember what I told you guys. The story about the teacher who got shot in his front yard when somebody was trying to get in his car. Now, again, any situation, you have to look at, first of all, your safety, your family's safety. And if you think you have enough in your house to repel any unwanted intruder, that's secure. Now, I understand, the attachment to your automobile and you see someone out there, again, the way the law is, you just can't run up on somebody and shoot them. I mean, I guess you can because that's what they did. But again, if you have to approach something like this, you have to be tactical. Because again, you when you're dealing with a man, that's one thing I told my son. When I had to be real with my son one time, I told him, I said, you can never underestimate what a man will do. And he, seeing a younger person, he underestimated the situation. Just like the story I showed you, dude got hit by the car, where the dude should have been retreating to the house. He's walking to the danger. But anyway, this is the teacher who got stabbed or got shot in front of his house, and let's go.
Development in the death of a beloved husband, father, and hockey coach.
Police arrested a 17-year-old boy, and they want him charged.
They said a boy.
With murder. The news comes just
Murder was the case that they gave me.
days after someone shot 44-year-old Michael Brazel outside his St. Paul home. WCCO's Alan Henry spoke with someone who saw a SWAT team take down that teenager and tells us what one.
It took a SWAT team to take him down? Okay. It took a SWAT team to take him down?
What are we doing?
It takes a SWAT team to take him down?
What are we doing?
Okay, let's go.
Friend wants to happen next.
Gun violence is bad. We need to fix that problem.
Michael Brazel was the latest victim of that problem Saturday morning, trying to stop someone from breaking into his wife's car. He was shot several times, just feet from his front door.
Now, this is a very casual working class neighborhood. The stucco, this is what they say is the most insulated. So majority of houses have this kind of stuff. Very, basements, of course. So again, he had all this to fall back on. Not only could he lock this door and retreated, but just like I imagine the car had to be out here somewhere. Now again, people, these houses have alleys behind them. So there's an alley behind this house. I'm 98% sure there's an alley behind this house, just looking at the neighborhood. So, the tape is here, so it could have been here. They could have fought. He could have chased him, shot him here. But again, say the car's parked here. Again, he had cover here. He had cover there. If you were, if you had a weapon, you would cover here, but you would pretty much just stay on cover and you could just talk, threaten or whatever the hell. And so you would have some type of protection and just, risking your life coming out and dealing with not knowing what you're dealing with and knowing that person's circumstance. So.
I will tell you, if you commit gun violence in this city, we are coming. We are going to find you.
A SWAT team was sent to arrest a 17-year-old early Wednesday morning in St. Paul. Terry Porthan watched it happen.
It was a little disconcerting when there was about 12 cars lining the street and then some down there and SWAT. That's what really.
Hey, you know what they just found? Y'all know what they just found? They just found, she's the oldest living, what do they call? Follow the yellow brick road. Follow. You're a munchkin. She's a munchkin.
What are we doing?
Ain't this a munchkin, y'all? Ain't this one of the munchkins? We are the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids, the lollipop. What?
What are we doing?
Okay, let's
really
go.
Caught my attention.
Porthan says she doesn't know the suspect and is happy about that.
It bothers me knowing that there was a murderer just literally wandering around right up there. What if I would have confronted him about touching my garbage can or something? I don't know. That's kind of scary to think of.
Andrew McNatton says he's glad police made an arrest before Brazel is laid to rest.
The thought of going into the...
What does this say, Anthony? Yeah, I think this is South High behind him. This is South High behind him. It says Anthony, but I think this is South High behind him. I'm not sure.
The different things we'll have coming up to remember Michael knowing that this guy was still out there was pretty hard to take.
The fact that a teen is facing murder charges.
I mean, these are very common houses here. Very common. And again, look at the neighborhood. These houses, these houses aren't, tore up. You see, it's a clean neighborhood. See that? Working people. And that's what would attract somebody, somebody desperate, checking cars. Jacking cars in the morning. They think ain't nobody down this nice working area because people park here. People park here. Again, I lived in a house very similar to this. My son's bedroom was here, and he saw a guy shoot a guy. 2 cars were parked right here and here. This is my son's bedroom. Cars parked here, cars parked there. They was in the middle of the street. They was kind of approaching each other, and it was a guy and a girl, and the guy and the girl, the guy had a gun. And the guy shot the dude. Now, I don't know if they got the weed or what, but that's what it appeared like. And the guy left his car, shot. Like when he shot him, and then I think it was opposite. So it was like the people that shot was down here, on this side, and this other guy was on this side. So they was approaching. So they shot him, they shoot him, and then they run the other way. They just say, fuck their cars, and they take off the other way. He, after being shot, runs across the street, through the backyard, and jumps 2 fences. You can see the blood. And my son watched all that. And I never told the police that, but my son watched all that because they came, they had put this tape in front of my house because the shooting was literally right in front of my house. But okay. What's more going on with the coach?
Charges doesn't change what he thinks should happen next.
It's hard to think about somebody sitting there for 60, 70 years as a 17-year-old. I'll give you that. But it's also really hard for me to think about what his actions mean for that specific family. He murdered a guy on his front stairs at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday. That changes the ball game completely.
Alan Henry.
Now, again, that's what. So, okay. All right. He just said he murdered him on the front stairs. Let's look at that. All right. Again, cover, door locked. So obviously he was outside. Now, a couple things. You come out here and say, hey, you messing with my car? And the guy comes running at you. Again, you'd have enough time to boat in and go into that structure. You'd have enough time to lock here, go in. Now, on the other hand, if, okay, you run into there and the guy comes in and you're in your doorway, you can shoot him. You see? So these were the other things to consider. So if he was just here or he had said something and came here and then he ran back into the house, you see? Again, he could have assessed the situation from this window, from that vantage point. That's the thing, it's called the cops. Even though it's going to take a half hour for them to come, you call them. And what numbers do we see here? 23, 3, so we see the 33 here. Huh, okay. But do you see where he made so many mistakes, he didn't even have to say nothing. Okay, I got insurance. Let them take care of it. So.
At 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday, that changes the ball game completely.
Alan Henry, WCCO News.
A visitation for Michael Brazel will be.
See? Guys. Sometimes I just don't know. Where are the... Let's do this. Open up another one. See? All right, let's do that. All right, who else came in? They have to get rowdy. Oompa Loompa for sure. Dale Jones, the Cobra Commander mask. Their dad looked ridiculous. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And Daryl Jones, thank you for joining.
You got to have vision.
Of course, it's more. Man, guys, the story I wanted to show, though, I don't see it. It's just funny. But you know, I showed you up here where they had that bear up here. And I told you that, you know, how easy it would be to kill the bear. I mean, really, if you know, these bears up here ain't nothing. You don't need a big gun to kill them. Like one guy showed, what was it, 450 round? You know, because you got to have a big round to kill a bear, a big bear. But these little bears around here, but they killed the bear. So the bear was eating around here and had two little cubs. So a couple days ago, and I can't find the story where they killed the bear. Maybe it was another station. But they killed the bear up here, and the bear had two little cubs. And so I saw a little article where they found one of the cubs, and like, hey, the cub was in the park. So you knew the bear had, you know, you guys been taking pictures of this stuff. So they off the bear, they euthanized it. Yeah, they killed that mug. Who's growing a garden? I mean, is anybody growing a garden? Because you know it's getting that time to grow gardens. So that is coming. Damn. Man, they buck wild up here, y'all. They buck wild up here. Y'all up here thinking this is this city ain't wild. It's wild. Oh, wait, what do we have here? What do we have here? It says road rage. We got road rage, y'all. We got road rage. Oh, we got road rage, y'all. Oh, no. Road rage in Richfield. Oh, no. Okay, let's hear what's going on, Richfield. What's going on? Not the crazy music. Oh, break down. And they throwing bricks at each other. Brick. Oh, bricks. Oh, let's watch that again. Y'all, you guys know you need to see that again. Let's watch it from the very beginning. So, okay. Now, the brothers back here look like they was Iranians or Iraqs, or they look, that's what I'm saying. And obviously, like, okay, he threw it at him, but that was like a terrible throw, but he hit his beamer. He hit his beamer with this big giant brick into the windshield or the hood. And you know, they tripping.
What are we doing?
That's what I want to know. Why would you throw the concrete brick? So what happened next? Boom! And Rick, I like that it bounced. Let's see that again. He made it bounce. He was sweet. Oh, the way he made it skip. He like skipped a rock on his car. He skipped a rock on his ride. Watch. Boom. Oh, I thought he was having a heater. No, he just got a rock. He just had a rock, man. Oh, he just had a rock. What is he doing? Damn. Who is it? This is a brother. Where did this brother come from? Why he thought? Why did they just? Wait a minute. What was? Was this the same story? What's going on? Why did they drive us? Now see, okay. Wait a minute. Like, is this a? No. I keep missing it. Okay, let's go back all the way here. Okay, this just. Okay. Now, this is separate, I guess. That this dude ran over here to grab one of these landscaping rocks. I don't know if it's random. I don't know enough. And they was playing that BS music, so I turned it off. But I guess it really doesn't matter. But this is Highway 62 in Portland. This is over by my crystal shop. I have to take 60, let me see. No, this is further down. 62. Oh, no, 62. Yeah, no, this is not quite 62. Yeah, okay. But I know where this is. So this is a separate incident, and there's just a random, it's a random, colored guy. Colored guys are all around here, but just a random Negro. And, he has, he's played some kind of sport. You see, he's, getting, his football stance with the brick. I don't know what he's got against. I think this is a Subaru. He's not mad. Now, they got the hell out of there. Look, is this the same? This car got... Let's check. Where did that car? So that car saw it. He saw it. He saw it. Yes, he did. He did see it. He see it. He saw the guy coming and he bailed. Do you see that? He bailed. He didn't. And then he hits him. And then why do they drive in a circle like this? Oh, I guess to stop him from throwing at it. That was okay. Kind of smart. He didn't have time to throw another one. That was, you know what they say, random. My daughter, I'd be telling her some stuff and it'd be like random. That's a pretty random, double weird story. Very random. None of the stories is about the bear. I want to hear about the bear, y'all. None of the stories are about the bear. Where is the bear? We want the bear. Damn, fan, you turned off. It's hot up in here. Where y'all at? Where we at? Somebody would have hit him with that whopper, laid his ass out with that rock in his hand. I know. Guys. Yeah. So, it's crazy up here. Crazy, insane. And I was trying to find the story about the bear, where they killed the bear. Oh, but it's just one thing after another. But, let me tell you, the pickleball, I don't even know what to call it. I guess the pickleball hero twin. That sounds good. The pickleball hero twin is back. What's interesting, there is an app. Gosh, and I guess I can start putting my games and stuff in it. And oh yeah, of course. And I might have to look it up. But it is an app where you put your games you play in. And I think they're gonna put the one I played in today. I don't know how to find it. Where did I put it? If I can just find the name, I'll be straight. But it's a way to get a pickleball rating and ranking. So when we play our games, like today, it was packed. Like I went today and played, not just played, but I played against good people all day. I mean, every day was pretty good. Because it's funny, I played these two Hmong brothers. And me and this older dude beat him. He gave me the younger dude, and we lost to him, which was interesting. Because we beat him pretty easily when me and this other dude. And this other dude wasn't that good. The other guy was okay. I mean, I had some bad shots myself, but it was like we should have beat them. But it's a way to propel myself. I'm gonna get both my partners, but I got a partner though. And I gotta hope his work record works out. His, where he works. And he has a tennis background. And he's a little taller than me. So his arms are quite long. And he could play well. He just would have the natural instincts. And I'll say this about the Hmong guys. The Hmong guys, you can see, like my best friend Tony, the first time I took him playing, he automatically saw it was the same as ping pong. Because you can slice a ball in ping pong, or you can put a heavy spin on it on top. And you can do a lot of that playing pickleball, where you can catch the ball and you can actually spin the ball. Some dudes can spin the ball and serve. And the thing about when they spin the ball is you take a step up. Dudes who like to spin the ball, even if it comes, you can kind of take a step up because it will really, like one big mistake people make is when a ball is near the net and it looks like you can smash it, what people don't realize is because of all the holes in the ball, and I'm sorry, my bag is in the car. It's a wiffle ball like thing. And so from the time, and it's like this. It really is like this. From the time your mind, you react and see the ball is falling so fast where you hit it hard, and a lot of people just hit it into the net because it's the timing of where you have to hit that shot. And you don't hit down, you push it forward. And that's a mistake, good players make. And I say that a lot of that when a spin. The thing, when the people spin the ball, when you return it, it's meant for it to stay low. Like one dude hit me a spin and I was able to hit it back to him. And it was like, none of the spin affected me, but my return, the spin was still on the ball. So when it hit him, it reacted. His spin he put on the ball, I returned it. And it's like, I'm really 2 weeks into playing. And playing against people that's been playing all winter. And it's like, yes, today they got shots on me, but they're not that far in ahead of me because of my elbow, and then I hurt my back. I mean, I didn't play all winter as the year before. Two years ago, I played all winter. When the second year I played like going into my first year playing, going into my second year, I played all winter. Where this year I didn't do it. I gave my elbow a rest. And it was one dude, like Jonathan, he's a guy that likes to serve spin. He came there, I know he's got that tendonitis so bad that he came in there with a bag on his arm. And he said that's all he's been doing. So that's the thing. I put the bands on my arm. So same thing. But, when I first started playing, it was beautiful because you can do like 3 or 4 plays in a row and your heart rate is up and you're on your feet and you're moving. I got I think almost 4 miles of exercise just today. And it was all quality games. If it wouldn't rain in the morning, people play in the morning and I'm going to try. I tried to do it this morning, but and even though I went to bed about midnight, 12:30 last night, I couldn't do it. Couldn't get up, y'all. It was like my alarm says, get up now, get on up, get up. Oh, why are we talking about it? Let's hear the man say it. What does he say? This is what my alarm says. Get up! That's what my alarm says. Get up! That's what my alarm says. Get up! And I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. Pickleball gonna have to wait till about 3. And that's what it did. It waited till, but I played from 3:30. I played from 3:30. I left there at 6:30 because I looked at what time it was. Matter of fact, when we played the last game, and I was like waiting for the next game to come up, and I looked at my phone. And I was like, oh shit, it was like 6:20. I'm like, and I'm about 15 minutes from home, 20 minutes from home. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like, the game is on. Shot back, watched the game, watched the first quarter in my car. I love the Apple TV on my phone. Put the phone up and just shoot through, So, yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And my fiance was like, she got up and went to work. She had to get up and go in today. And I didn't even hear get ready or nothing. I was like, wow, I ain't hear nothing. I was out. So just was, I was like, yeah. And so really just working on new habits in the morning. I found out I got to stretch, especially my back, and make my core stronger, which I've done. But it's just so cool to, play and miss shots because for people that have played all winter, and then I'm missing shots just because I ain't really played. And I got doing the rope, right now my shoulders are sore from doing the rope, and the rope is excellent for pickleball. It's the same kind of stuff, picking the paddle up, blocking. It's the same kind of thing. You can even do where you scoop. I mean, it's just so many different ways you can, that to me, and even I work out with 8-pound weights, and it's like the same pickleball motions. The motions for quick hands. The quick hands is, again, you do these with weights, and then when the paddle is there. So, and today I didn't really miss a whole lot of, some days I just whiff on it. Not today, not so bad today. A lot of times just not looking at it. But, and fatigue, I'm in shape. I work on this thing. It's been a couple of weeks, so I work on this thing. But most of the time, I'm out walking anyway. Mall walking, of course. I go to the outlet, go to the mall, and I get a bunch of walking in doing that. So that's one thing I've done. I didn't play pickleball, but I definitely stayed in shape. I kept my cardio. And so it's fun. It's fun. It's fun playing against, to see all the courts going. And, that's part of being the hero twin. When I say I'm the holder, it is good that I can do this and be competitive and be friendly with people. Really get along, be friendly with people. And these are people that have known me. This place has been open for 3 years. These people have known me for 3 years. They all know my name. It's like my cheers. It is not uncommon to see me there. I go there all the time. The last 2 years, taking all kind of people, and that's becoming a bigger thing. People haven't played, and that's great. And and I've said this. I think one thing that my stepfather loved about our relationship, he loved tossing the ball back and forth to me. And I always thought that, it's like I was playing freshman quarterback. We had a great team. We was undefeated. And we would just play catch still. And I think he loved that, Parents, and like Father's Day, I always give love to my stepfather on Father's Day. Because I've said this many times before. I went to see my father every other week. And if I didn't go see my father, he would take me to my grandmother's, that kind of thing. But I also knew my stepfather's family and grew up with them. And my stepfather took me to thousands of practices. He never missed a game from me playing in 7th grade. I didn't even play much in 7th grade, but he came to every game. He took off work and came to the game. From 7th grade until I graduated. He never missed a game, and I played football and basketball. So I've said this before. I will color him father. I will color him love. I will color him father. I will color him love. I send that love energy to him because he was there. And he saw my transformation. He saw that what he put into it did, pan out. As I said last night, of my graduating class, only 2 of us went to college to play sports. A couple girls did too. One swimmer was great. I'm not sure what happened to her, but I know she went to college or Olympics kind of stuff and pro swimming. And then there was a girl who went to the University of Alabama. Gigi went to the University of Alabama to play tennis. So, but out of football and basketball, it was only 2 my class, me and Dave. Dave and I should say. But my stepfather was great. But just to understand, like even with my son, just to play catch with him. Just to play catch with him. I love that. With all of them, I would love that, just to play catch. I mean, I see baseball mitts for sale, and I always had catcher's mitts. I caught up until I was a freshman when I needed glasses, didn't get glasses, but I caught. And I would pitch. But I'd always loved catching with the catcher's mitt because I had them since I was little boy. It was like first year T-ball, next year I'm catching. So at 6, I played T-ball. At 7, I'm catching. No helmet, just a mask. And, you see what I'm saying? That's how quick it went. It's like one summer I'm playing T-ball. The next summer I am literally in full gear playing catcher. Got to catch every pitch at 7 years old. And I did that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then when I got 14, I broke my finger. Catching. And that's why my thumbs are, I just know that's of all the things that hurt my thumbs. Again, catching thousands of balls. People don't understand that. Like if you ask me how many balls I caught in my life, footballs and basketballs, like my drill in the summertime, said I was a park director. We was making nothing, but I had to park. And so I would line up the young boys that could throw and literally try to catch 500 balls a day just by myself. And it took bringing all these different dudes in. And it was like, it might even been more, but it was like 100 with right hand, 100 left hand, 100 coming off the ground, catching 100 high balls. outs, and just doing that over and over and over and over and again. And it sprain your thumb, whatever. But I look back at little boy baseball on how many times I probably actually have broke my thumb. Because like catching balls, and as boys throw harder, you catching every ball, and just a constant pounding right there. And I think back, I can't ever remember really where, a couple times I would hurt my hand, but not to ever the point where I couldn't catch. I mean, when I was able to pitch, I would pitch, but most of the time I would catch. And, I'm sure both thumbs, but just catching. So not complaining, just telling the reality. That's the benefit was that I did get to do what I did. But on the other hand, it had a price. There's a price for that too. Oh. I think this is only, let me see. Guys, I think this is only fitting to show. See? This is the same story. Like, I'm not understanding why. Oh, this is a highlight on this. This is breaking. Get out of there. I don't need that. I already got it. All right. See if you remember this. This was just a couple days ago. And I'll say she's cute. I would say she's cute. I love everything about how she looks. Her hair's whipped. I don't even think she has extensions, maybe. But everything I like. Everything looks good. Everything looks good here. That's all we ask. Look good.
To the shooting and killing of St. Croix County Sheriff's Deputy Katie Lysing over the weekend. This comes as we're learning more about the troubling past of the man suspected of killing her. Our Pauline Lee joins us live in the newsroom with what we know so far. Pauline.
Yeah, Shayla, well, records show Jeremiah Johnson had a long criminal history and had been serving time behind bars in the past on a number of convictions. Johnson had been out on supervised release when investigators say he shot and killed Deputy Lysing before later shooting and killing himself just outside of Glenwood City, Wisconsin last Saturday night. Now, this follows a 2015 conviction of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a woman in Stillwater. Now, as part of that case, a judge signed an order which made him surrender his guns and prevented him from living in a home with guns present. But Johnson's troubles with the law as an adult started back in the early 2000s when he was convicted for a different assault case, this one with a dangerous weapon. He also has had a number of traffic violations, a DWI, which he refused to take a sobriety test for, and convictions for violating an order for protection. Now, investigators are planning on sharing more details about this case. That includes funeral arrangements for Deputy Lysing. That's going to happen in about an hour or so at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So be sure to stay with us. We'll keep you updated later today on the news at 4, 5, and 6, as well as on our streaming service, CBS News Minnesota. Shayla?
Our Pauline Lee report.
It's crazy up here. Crazy insane. Oh my goodness. The best hitter. Wow. I'll say this, and I can rightly say this. Whoops. I can rightly. Okay, that's me. I can rightly say in my life. Okay, that's me. That's cool. Okay. All right. So in my life, there was three hyped times of hitting. And again, personally, the best hitter I got to watch the most was probably Kirby Puckett. He's probably the best hitter I got to see the most play. Yeah. Probably Kirby Puckett. Yeah. To watch where he started to where he finished, he was probably personally, again, living here, when we were all younger, I had a lot of access. I saw him play a lot. I told the story before. If you guys ever remember, when the Twins won the World Series, you can go back to a video, and I should look it up because there's one of the dudes on there named Dave, and he won one of the World Series. He won the World Series on that team. But if you looked up Dave like had a blooper. It was a blooper, and he has one of the early ESPN bloopers where he had caught a ball in the minor leagues, and he had ran through the outfield, like the sign in the outfield. He literally ran through it. He was the cat we knew, and he played on that team with Puckett and them. So going to all the games back then, I went to all the games. Like Pat Mahomes, that's how I met Pat. Met Pat actually through hooping. I met Pat Senior through hooping because he could hoop. Pat dunked on Tyrone. And what is Pat? 6'3.5", maybe 6'4". Tyrone 6'8". And Pat, he dunked on it, hit Tyrone in the head at the Bally's in St. Paul. Yeah, Pat was one of the, I talked about that last night, comparing him to Vita Blue. One of the greatest athletes, and actually not a bad hitter himself, but he could throw a ball 90. When he's younger, 100 miles an hour, 98. But yeah, the best hitter I think that I saw personally. Now, I when I started, I was saying, I got to witness a lot of different hitters. People don't realize how much when Hank Aaron was in his 700s, there was every game, national TV. But people also forget when Pete Rose broke Ty Cobb's hitting record. I got to see a lot of Pete Rose. And Pete Rose, Pete Rose would love today's game because the way they make him have to throw it. Pete Rose, it didn't matter what the pitcher did. Pete would get a hit. Like, go back and watch when they won. Like, again, when I was talking about the red machine, Pete Rose was on that big red machine with Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench, Concepcion, Tony Perez. Pete Rose was on that team. And Pete Rose was I never really, I didn't get to watch Ted Williams play live, but closest I got to seeing a pure hitter, and not just a home run hitter, and not to say that Willie Mays wasn't a great hitter, because he was. Like I said, with Hank Aaron being the home run record, you saw her, again, one of my very first video on this channel is showing you when he went to when Hank Aaron goes up to the plate about to hit the home run, the dude tells him what the pitch is coming. You see it, Hank Aaron has to listen twice, but that's my very first video. But even saying that, you saw how great a hitter he still was. You still saw how great a hitter he was too. But Pete Rose too, watch it. And my first two heroes in sports who impressed me the most was Mickey Mantle and Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers, because we lived in, we lived in Cassopolis, Michigan. We wasn't that far from Chicago. I think roughly in Cass, hour and a half maybe from Chicago, if that. You're really close when you're down there southwestern Michigan. And so, Gale Sayers, but Mickey Mantle on television. I was a little boy and watching Mickey Mantle. And that and I guess what caught my eye about Mickey Mantle is he was a switch hitter that hit home runs both ways. He could literally hit home runs both ways. He's a power hitter no matter what. And, didn't take care of himself really. He was a naturally gifted dude. And I guess we could probably even say that about Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth. People don't understand how naturally gifted Babe Ruth was. And a lot of people say that Babe Ruth was melanated. Pete married to an Asian woman, I believe. I saw when he played as a manager too as a kid. Yeah, Pete, man, I'm telling you. But I watched a lot of his games on TV. But again, when you saw, but like that whole Reds team, Joe Morgan, and I say, TV games, I watched a lot of baseball as a boy. A lot of baseball. I just loved baseball. Even to this day, I watch baseball. And I think PJ said what I said. If I wanted to take a nap, I would put the Twins on. No, excuse me, the Cubs. WGGO. I would put the Twins on, and I'd lay there and watch baseball until I fell asleep. Or not the Twins, but the Cubs. And TV 50 gave us the Detroit Tigers. So I've always watched a lot of baseball. But yeah, but that year, 94, 95, I watched Kobe, or excuse me, I watched Kirby Puckett play a lot. It was just like Pat Mahomes. I don't know if it was my birthday. I don't even know what it was. My in-laws came here and they brought my ex-wife's brother and maybe a cousin. So it was like 4 of them and all my children. So it was like 8 or 9 tickets. And came through. He had came through, gave me the tickets, you know. He had the tickets to will call, you know, and then saw him again. He's like, "Did you like the tickets?" And I teased him. I talked shit. I was like, "Yeah, them tickets is good, but I want to sit behind Kirby's wife, behind home plate." And he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay." And sure enough, the rest of the season, we sat, me and Chevelle, the rest of the season, we sat right next to his wife, sharing, or the wife that got all the money, sharing nachos with her. Just joking with him. Because, I mean, the seats he got me when my family was here was great. What in the hell did that? And, oh, here it is. And the rest of the season, we sat right behind Kirby's wife, which was so cool. She's like, "Y'all want some nachos?" Like, they would get the nachos in the helmets. It's like, "Yeah, we would like some nachos." Or she would always, we sit next to her. Like, that's how we kind of got cool. She's like, "Y'all want some nachos?" Because it'd be like nachos in the helmets. You know, it'd be like the fake little helmets. And yeah, that was cool. And like the way they used to have it in the Metrodome, you couldn't, nobody walked between pitches. And we're like literally just sitting there, you know, we sit behind whole plate, just loving it, you know, go in there and be buzzed and get drunk up in the stadium, you know. So it was great, man. But yeah, the best hitter, because Winfield was older, but yeah, Kirby Puckett, like the guy who I got to, you know, I always had good seats and got to study how he hit. I'll tell you too who impressed me too. Darryl Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry too. Because what they did, Darryl Strawberry at first played with St. Paul. And when he made his comeback, Darryl Strawberry was actually a pretty good hitter. I saw him play over there. Like when he played them games in St. Paul, I went over there and checked him out. So yeah, Darryl Strawberry had a good eye. You know, again, they say the drugs and stuff, but it was a guy I got to watch a little bit that was a pretty good hitter. Now, I mentioned Dave Winfield, even though he was older. Oh, I tell you now, the best twin hitter was Rod Carew. Yeah. Rod Carew was one of the closest to get. Now, that's the dude I studied on TV. Never got to see him. Met him a couple times. You know, they gave Rod Carew, I think, a heart. I think he had heart switched out. Pretty sure. Look up Rod Carew. I'm pretty sure he had his heart switched out. But studying him, you know, watching his games too. Yeah, Rod Carew too. Rod Carew. So, of course, you know, the Negro League dudes we couldn't really see hit. Remember the rumor of Josh Gibson hitting a home run with one arm, and then how they did it in the movie. He was fooled and threw one hand off the bat, but one arm he was able to get enough force to knock a home run. And him and Babe Ruth was the only ones to knock it out of the Yankee Stadium. Said he knocked one out of Yankee Stadium. So it's hard to know what those players did. You know, I watched a video of some people was talking about an old Hooper, and I never heard anything positive about him. But somebody showed a quick thing, and I guess we could do this search. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, let's do this little search. You know, I might. Yeah, let's go here. See if I can find this. Because I had never heard anything positive. I had heard him getting punched by Bill Russell. Yeah, here we go. I know y'all ain't heard about this. Yeah. Let's I know y'all ain't heard about this, but I saw somebody do a short, and I think this is worth. Okay. Let's go. Here we go. Walter Dukes is the first 7-footer to play the game with track and field athleticism, paving the way for many others to follow. Preceding Bill Russell, that means before, preceding means before, Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain with this distinction by 7 years. The following brief clips are from a short recap of the 53 college NIT as well as the 61 All-Star game. I bet what I watched was this, the 61 All-Star game. So this is going to be pretty quick. Yeah, only 2 minutes. But New
York and highlights of the final game of the national.
Okay. Let's see. Remember, I was telling you guys, NIT was more important than NCAA. It was more important. And so he was the 53 champion and he was the MVP of the tournament. He was All-American. 26 points a game. Wow. He high jumped 6'6". Wow. Then played for the Globetrotters for 2 seasons. That's what Wilt did. Wilt did the same thing. So 53, 54, 55, he played with the Globetrotters before he went to the NBA. Wow, a year before Bill Russell, I think. Wow, well, let's go.
From South Orange, New Jersey, now in possession versus the underdog Red Men.
Okay, it says, in the NBA, his primary point production came from running in transition, followed by ambidextrous hook shots in the pivot, like Jabbar could do it both hands, and occasionally some face-up jump shots. Wow.
An unseeded berth at the start.
Oh, let's take that back. Check this out. No, before that. Oh, right here. Nope. Seton Hall. Interesting.
Surprising finalists after an unseeded berth at the start. Marvelous pass by Richie Regan.
Oh, this is what I was trying to show is right there. Let's see. Watch the court. This is the small court. Maybe they'll show it. This is the small court, guys. Oh, he hooked on him. Oh, he nasty. He kind of nasty. Look at the court. Hooked on him again.
St. John's.
Oh, he nasty with the hook. Man, they see hooks in their nightmares.
Frenzy of excitement, getting a shock when Wally Dukes misses.
Okay, look at the lane, guys. This is the old lane. For those of you who watch Sweetwater, the lane was like this. Now, again, they didn't change it because of him, This is the old lane. This is 53. So, yeah, the lane wasn't even extended. See that? For Wilt Chamberlain, they extended this.
6'11" Seton Hall sharpshooter doesn't miss very often. Here's a near miss until Wally Dukes taps.
Wally Dukes.
The West is maintaining a fast.
Did he just tip dunk it in? Yes, he did.
With another 2-pointer. Walter Dukes puts the game beyond recall.
Wait a minute. Did he just stuff?
Walter Dukes.
I think he. Man.
Madison Square Garden, New York, and highlights of the final game of the national.
I went too far. Wait, right in here.
Dukes bombs the nets with another 2
Okay, it was right in here. He tip dunked that shit. Yeah, right there. He tip dunked that shit.
Here's a near miss
Watch
until
him.
Wally Dukes taps it in.
Watch him tip dunk this shit. Watch him come in. There he is right there. You see him? He's right there. Watch him tip dunk this shit in. He tip dunks this shit.
Maintaining a
Damn, that shit was nasty. That shit was nasty. Watch this shit again. Now here I can't see because they put this thing over it. We can't really see what he does here.
Until Wally Dukes.
He didn't tip dunk this one, but look at him. Look at him come in. He is the same as everybody. And this is 1952 or 53, y'all. See, that's why, people thinking what they're doing ain't never been done. This dude tip dunked the ball in 1953. Look at this.
West is maintaining a.
Tell me you didn't tip dunk that ball in. Tip dunked it in.
50% scoring average. Walter Dukes bombs the nets with another 2-pointer. Walter Dukes puts the game beyond recall. He hits from the corner, and the West is on top, 131
Boom.
to 113.
That's the Globetrotters. People still run this offense. This is the same offense people still run. Look at the lane, though. You see how thin the lane is? See, that's a Globetrotter play that they still run. The Globetrotters is the one that came up with this play. Watch what they do. Feed the post, go, zigzag, back cut. You see that? That's an old Globetrotter play. In Sweetwater, they break this play down. They break this play down in Sweetwater. See the back cut? Watch. Feed the post again, go, pick, back cut. Sweetwater talks about that play.
Scoring game. The balance really shifts to Seton Hall. Coach Honey Russell's Cagers have little trouble racking up St. John's and winning their first.
Oh, he blocked his stuff! Waller Dukes, we got to see that again. Beat his stuff, Water. Beat his stuff, Water. Oh, and he was in bounds. And he saved it in bounds.
His tremendous arm span to deflect a pass to Jerry West.
And sparked his team to victory. National.
Oh, he beat that one. Give me that. Give me that. Water Dukes didn't play.
Annual All-Star
He tip dunking on people. Look at that. He was a bad man. Wally Dukes. Y'all see, y'all learn something. Look, he's 7 foot. He was a bad man. Tip dunking in 1953.
All-Star Spectacular.
Tip dunking in 1953. Who else y'all know in 1953 was tip dunking on people? Let's see what they say right here. No, let's bring it back. What did they say? We want his props. Okay. Dukes was also known around the league for not wearing deodorant. Oh, no. Oh, no. Are they saying that Walter stink? No. No, they didn't do that to him. Oh, no. That was not a fun fact. The joke about Waters, they couldn't set a blind screen because you could smell him coming. Dukes was fast and can jump, so he is considered athletic in that sense, but he was avoided during layup lines by his own teammates and feared by opponents, grabbing rebounds due to incidental errant elbows. He once knocked out a few of Jerry West's teeth. Wow. Now, I heard that either Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain knocked him out. That's what I heard, that they fought and one of them knocked him out. Water just beat you to death without even trying. I hated playing against him. Duke played for the Knicks in 56 and the Lakers for... So he played here. I did not realize he had played here. From 58, he finished his career with the Pistons. That is where I'm more familiar with him, is playing with the Pistons. But that's what I heard, that Will Chamberlain or Bill Russell knocked him out. Wow, so he played here for a year. But, like, why didn't he wear deodorant? Water was not a great shooter, but a great rebounder. He was not a great shot blocker, but his presence stopped a lot of guys from shooting. He was an awesome figure just being there. He was tireless. He had a long stride, and he could run all day and night. Sounds like Dennis Rodman. Dukes competed on the track team, and the coach told me he could have been a world-class quarter miler. Kind of sounds a little jealous. I'll say that. Like he was the man. Sounds like Richie considered himself the man and not Water. Okay. Let's see. Is that all they got about Water? You guys didn't even know you would get to know about a new hooper you never knew about. Nobody else would motivate you to know about Walter Dukes. Damn, this picture right here is him slamming in. Oh, teams of Water Dukes compete in national NIT. Stock footage, and the very first picture is him tip dunking a ball in. Water Dukes is the man. For tonight, we make you most valuable nighttime news. Water Dukes. Yeah. Where's everybody at? Oh, way past that. Okay. Let's see. My uncle knew Kirby Puckett. Oh, yeah. He's from Chicago. Kirby Puckett is from Chicago, I do believe. Hey, El Dragon, what's happening? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here. It's so funny. They be like, I appreciate you. Yeah, it's another spell. You hear people, I appreciate you. But thank you for being here.
You got to have vision.
Ah, but yeah. I mean, that's just, watching hitters and stuff. I love baseball. But I really think that the Twins is going to they've had the good pitching. They're not losing runs like they did last year. And I still got to get a Braxton jersey. Still got to get one. Just got to order it. So much other stuff to order. So many other things to order. But that's all right. We would get them all taken care of too. Ah. It's interesting. You try to put a little bit of information out there about everything, and it's funny what intrigues people. Oh, it's funny what intrigues people. Again, Jaguar energy out there. Transformation energy out there too. Y'all forget to get that out. It's American energy. Mm-hmm. But I guess I can't, say my own experiences is I guess unique to me. And I try to share things that from an experience thing. Again, had anybody out there say, I'm profiting off anybody? Not at all. And I have a thing where I say I give freely. I give the energy freely. I think I really mean that. When I say that, I really mean that. Whoa, the pitch kind of. Because I feel that there's so much information out there. And it was one channel, and he said something that's really interesting. Like how many books do you have before like 1970? It's like just thinking, 1970 is now 50 years ago. Like how many books exist before 1970? Like when we get these, these kind of books. Man, I couldn't even tell you what reprint this is. I guess I could. Let's see what reprint this one is. Okay, so put in this. So by this guy, I mean, there's other people that put this stuff out there. By this guy, this is 2009. So this information comes, from a fairly recent, because this is a copy. The information here is someone else's work, no doubt. But this is a copy of that work, for sure. But look around to see what you have and see if does that exist. No books before 1970. I only have a couple that I know for sure. Well, I know my file by Connie Hawkins was first edition. Still, that's 72, 73, but it's a first edition paperback. I'm gonna get the hardback too. Might end up even being able to pick up. I'm not a big autograph guy, but I might be able to pick up an autograph version of it. Because I should look up Connie Hawkins, let y'all see him. I know I'm gonna have to get up and turn this damn fan back on. But isn't that funny? Like there was a baseball player. There's a movie called I should look him up. Talking about it's interesting. Talk about him and then look him up. But there's a baseball player named Jimmy Pearsall. And Jimmy Pearsall went crazy on the baseball field. And like they tell the story. I mean, it's literally the story of the baseball dad putting all his dreams in his son. Dig? He put all his dreams in his son, and his son flipped out when he made the pros. He flips out. This is the movie. Now imagine we could find, and maybe I should look it up, but he flips out. But I heard another story too about him. Now they was talking about Walter Duke being funky. Jimmy Pearsall was also a dude that he would take a shower and not dry his clothes. He would just put his clothes on wet. Said he didn't even dry his hair or nothing. He would just put his clothes on wet, his suit, pants, because back then they was wearing suit and pants, and he was with it. Well, it'll dry while I walk. I guess he had no style. I guess he had no style. So, I just think that's bogus to put that a dude stinked, but and we're talking about the 50s. All right. So maybe no one ever told him about deodorant. Isn't that interesting? I'm knowing a lot. Tell I had a day off. Sorry I couldn't come on yesterday afternoon. Didn't pickleball, but here we go. My knob came apart. Let's sew it back on. I'm gonna screw it back on. Yes. We will have victory. There we go. But I don't know. The point is, there is no point. I think that is the point. The world is full of thoughts and ideas, and like really, I guess take care of your thoughts and ideas. And sometimes plans are better developed unsaid. Because sometimes when you put it out in the air, believe again, if you this is how the idea network works. There's like a network of ideas. It's like every thought is literally a balloon. Like they show the balloons. It's literally like that. There's a keeper of thoughts. That's why they love these parrot spells. And so thoughts are so well and always been kept. That's why they tell you this cloud, because every thought is like really ledgered, and it's like all these thoughts. You think it's continuous, it's not. A lot of what people think in their consciousness is so programmed that you've been lost what you think. You're in that cloud of getting the fog thoughts. That's how strong our thoughts are, because they think they control all the thoughts. They think what you think, and they want you to even think if you come up with something. That's why a lot of times it's better unsaid until you really got to spring it on them. Because people don't realize just thinking some of this stuff and definitely saying it out loud, it gets copied. And as I've said before, if you look at the patent of the telephones, it was hours. Because literally when you take the patent in, like I said, the dude who got killed in Buffalo, he was days away from producing his patent for the people. When he applied the patent for the water engine, they was coming to see, because you got to show that it works. That's science. And what they say science is. And so your thoughts and ideas can be stolen without you realizing it. Your thoughts and ideas, when I talk about behavior surplus, like the cookies and stuff in the phones, again, all this, they try to read what you are. They try to read what you are. They try to read what you want by your behavior surplus that we give them by interacting with this. I mean, even, your questions and stuff, they going through this. They going through all this stuff. They looking at you. Yeah, they're trying to secret message. Is there some kind of conspiracy? Is he trying to rile the people up? Is it any of that? And so sometimes, my point is, sometimes if you, your family, you have plans, like hold that together. Like don't be loose about talking about it to each other. If it's serious. Like even getting something like a house and stuff. You and your wife get together. Be together when you and her personally. Don't say that around the children. Just you and her. No parents, no her parents. No. You and her get together, and anything important like that, get together, huddle, where very few can hear this when you're doing something serious. Because again, the way the downer goes, because there's a Debbie Downer machine out there. There's a machine that is definitely a Debbie Downer, and it's out there to drown your stuff. It is almost like the thought and reactions. It's almost like that. It's almost as, again, you sometimes you have to think the opposite of what you want. Like, you can never win the lottery by thinking about winning the lottery. You never can win it like that. That's not how it works. Now, you can tap into the program that is the lottery. I've watched a couple people do it. I watched my grandfather do it. I watched my grandfather keep numbers it was the legal numbers. Some of the stuff was in there was like not even the current. It was like the illegal to the legal. He had watched what all the numbers was. I watched the dude do the lottery and won one time. So that is real. But you can't think about winning it, because that's, again, the energy that it takes to parallel yourself into winning it. But the way the tool works, and remember we saw that show Person of Interest, that the eye is always on you. So you would have to think that if you go in there and play, the eye is on you. And when the eye is on you, the eye will look at you and you're like, no, we can't get millions to him because he might help people. And it could be that easy and that serious. Like, no, we can't give money to him. If we give this billion to him, he's going to try to help people. He talks too much about giving freely. So if we gave that money to him, he's going to really try to make a difference. He's not going to be out there trying to just waste money and say, look at me, and doing foolish things. Because that's what they want. I mean, they still get on the sister that all the money she got years ago. Then they was like, well, you're living on a slave plantation. You just bought a slave plantation. But there were black folks in the South that owned slave plantations too. So could you have shamed that lady if it was a black-owned former slave plantation? Really wouldn't have as much steam as the lady who did it. Embarrassed her. Dr. Love or whatever the hell the lady was. It embarrassed that young sister. But that's how it works. Like even scratch-offs. Just, don't even think about what, just get them and scratch them, whatever. Yeah, I guess, and there's a rhythm to all of it. There's definitely a rhythm to all of it. Gambling, there's a rhythm to gambling. And it's like, it's literally an ebb and a flow. And that stock market is the same. A lot of the stock market is the same. It's an ebb and flow to all of it. Wow. I must be pushing out a lot of, man. Ooh, pushing out a lot. My hands are burning up. Okay, must be saying some good stuff. So let me spread it out to y'all. Wow. My hands, is it the crystal? Maybe this one. I know that one will make me hot. So that's something to practice, I think. Practice that. Practice your thoughts. Be a master of your thoughts for sure. And I've told you about attachments and all that. I went by that a bunch of times. But be a master of that. Be a master of who you are in your environment. I mean, where everything has a place and a function. Like in this picture, the only things that really don't have a function is these pictures. They don't really have a function, but they're pretty. And tomorrow, hopefully, I'll bring my other picture over here, my big picture over here, and replace these two. But they don't really have a function other than they're pretty. All this other stuff has functions. Now, the fireplace don't really have a function. It's just giving me a little color. Just continue movement without it ain't on. And my fan, I'm about to choke it because it went off. But I think I'm up for a bathroom break anyway. How long have I been going on? Oh, man, my goodness. No standing up for almost 2 hours. Let me see. It's something I can give you guys. Let me see. And I think this is it. They might not like this, but I don't really care. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with this. Let's go with this. Why take a break? Stand up. Whoa, wait. All right, this is a little business news. Let's hear this business news, y'all. This is a little business news.
Seen inflation slow down in recent months. Is that still the case? What did we just see?
So, yes, a slight deceleration for the 10th consecutive month. April Consumer Price Index down by 4.9% from a year ago, just a tenth of a percentage point lower than it was the previous month. But okay, I'll take it. It's the right direction. When we pull out food and energy, we did see prices up by 5.5% from a year ago. Again, this is a slight improvement from the previous month, down substantially from back in June of 2022, but we do have a lot of work to do. We really need that core inflation number to come down to 2.5%.
And how do we get there? Because were there any specific categories that stuck out to you?
In this report specifically, it is true that gas prices were up just a little bit month over month, and that was helping to contribute. Shelter continues to be a real issue. So shelter was up by 8.1% from a year ago. And just think, you know, when you're thinking about an average household, how much of your income goes to pay for your shelter, whether it's rent or paying property taxes, et cetera, and also filling your tank up. So, you know, these are big categories, and until we see those categories come down, we're not going to see overall inflation come down.
Which is part of the reason why we see so many Americans now on the sidelines looking to buy that home because rates are so high right now. All right, Jill, so look, we know Mother's Day, it's right around the corner. A lot of people going to be taking families out for Mother's Day. What are we seeing at restaurants? Because it feels like prices are still just going up, and away.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Prices for food away from home or in restaurants up by 8.6% from a year ago. So mom is going to cost you a little bit more if you're going to take her out. That said, it is, again, a slight improvement from the previous month. If you want to see a little bit more bang for your buck, why not cook mom a meal at home? Because prices for food at home up by 7.1%. That's a pretty big differential. So this is what I said to my mom. Either you get a meal at home and maybe a little Prezi, or we're going out. But you don't get, you know, you're not getting both.
You did not say
You
that
didn't say that to
your
Mom.
own
Stop
mother.
that. No, you didn't.
I didn't.
I
didn't.
Trying to pull a fast one on us. We know you better than that. Stop that, Jill. Stop that.
All right, I am back. That was a fake laugh. Man, that was fake as hell. Let's listen to this clown. Let's listen to this clown. He fake laughing. Watch this fake laughing. Really? I call that cooning. I mean, really? They're that broke up? I mean, really? Oh, he got a clap. Oh, did he clap? I think he clapped. Let's turn it up to see. Did he clap? I think he clapped.
That's a mom.
Your own
Stop
mother.
that. No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Oh, he clapped. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Where do we get these clowns from? Where do they get these clowns from? It didn't deserve all that. It wasn't that cool. But okay. I wanna tell you about this. Him. It's everything. I don't care about that. I want you guys to consider this. And yeah, this has been kind of on my mind. This is Fox 9, but that's okay. How long ago is this story? Okay, this is a fairly recent story, and this is Fox 9. I want you guys. Let me see. Before I tell you this, what you have to understand, like where I live, it is a thing not to drink the water. It is okay to take a shower, brush your teeth, to wash your dishes, but they recommend not drinking it. Now, I did not know that. Where I lived before, it wasn't like that, but the water was nasty. Now, I don't remember, I come from a time where, and of course, a hose could be connected to a well, but the water didn't taste nasty. And because I work for the water department, I know good water. I studied that. and I know what good natural water tastes like. And it's interesting how bad tap water tastes. And I don't ever remember a time where in my life where it was like, but I'll say this, I will say this. One thing about the Mississippi water is in the city of Minneapolis, the water is always cold. Doesn't matter if it's winter, does not matter if you have a fridge with a ice maker, it doesn't matter. Your water is always cold. That is, I've never lived anywhere else like that where the water is always cold. And I don't mean mildly cold. I mean cold, like refreshing cold. It's interesting. But as I said before, keep in mind, most of your water, like all the water in Minneapolis. Now I'm not sure how this. I'm thinking that Minneapolis and St. Paul and all the Twin Cities, you know, we all have separate ways we deal with wastewater. So there's multiple ways of this wastewater. But the biggest wastewater system obviously is in Minneapolis and St. Paul compared to the many ones you see in all the Twin Cities. And this water has been around basically forever. Since they first put this water in it, it's pretty much the same water. Now, of course, we know rainwater gets into this water sometimes. Lake water gets into the water. But for the most part, it's the same water going through the system. And again, if you don't know when the last time your pipes were updated, if you live in an older crib, you don't really know the condition of your pipes. Now, as you know, as dark as the story of Flint is, as dark as the story as Flint is, the reality is all it took was them to put this chemical through all the pipes, and they could have switched to the nastier water. The system would have accepted that, but they had to prime the pipes first. They had to wash all the pipes with this new chemical that would accept this other type of water. And I said dirty water, but it was this other. So they knew what to do. And it was the Republican government, the city manager's manager, because what they did, and the Republicans took over the big cities, or these mostly melanated cities. Flint, Ben Harbor, where my cousin's mayor, and they made that decision. So it was to benefit these contractors. Really, what it come down to, and no one was held guilty of that. Because if you study the whys, it was some contractors made money. They sold their line to private. I think they actually sold their lines and made money. And then it had to be reversed. And the lines was having to give them back to Flint. And none of the people were held criminally responsible for that. Because it was neglect. Because they didn't want to pay the extra money to prime the water. They just wanted to switch everything over to it. Because again, you got these big egghead people in the laboratories telling how much money we can make, and not the practicality of what's happening. So, without further ado, they're going to talk about it.
Metro taste and smell much better. Today, the city of Minneapolis giving a rare look inside their heavily secured water filtration plant. Fox 9's Rob Olson live for us in Fridley, where that water originates in the Mississippi River. Rob?
Yeah, the Mississippi River behind me is just south of here that Minneapolis takes in the water into that filtration plant. It is treated first, and then it goes through this filter system. And this 100-year-old filtration plant recently gutted and completely refitted.
Yeah, so what did they do until it was finished? 100-year-old plant, they had to replace all the pipes. I wonder if they're going to tell us how they did it. What were the people getting before this if they had to do all this? But again, 100 years from right now is the 1920s. Within my grandfather's life, this stuff was completed. So let's go.
This is the pipe gallery, so this is kind of the undercarriage of the filters.
In an underground room that stretches about 400 feet are the pipes that send filtered water to every tap in Minneapolis and about a half dozen suburbs. All of it brand new, except the building that they're in.
The structure is original. Everything else is new.
Yeah, we gutted everything, and we looked at the cost of building a whole new filter plant versus using the shell and upgrading everything.
This is what it looked like until just a few years ago. The pipes and valves, all original to the 1920s. All of it taken out, which was an engineering feat of its own, and replaced with state-of-the-art upgrades. But the process is still essentially the same.
So really the basics of filtration haven't really changed.
The city of Minneapolis showing off the recently completed work here at this 100-year-old Fridley filtration plant along the Mississippi as part of National Drinking Water Week.
When you go in and see the water on top of the filters, that's the last time anybody sees it until it comes out at their tap at their homes.
Inside the cavernous main floor are all the pools where water is filtered by gravity. The $66 million project replaced aging valves and controls and updated.
Now, some people clean with gravity and these pits be outside. So they're saying just filtration. I wonder if this is just from the lake filtration, but they're saying it's going to everybody. So it's got to be sewer too. So this is filtration for sewer too, keep in mind.
The sand and carbon.
And a lot of people will have these pits outside, but I guess because of the weather, they don't keep this kind of stuff outside. Because I know in Greensboro, we had, in some of your southern cities, you have outside filtration systems like this. But up here, because of the weather, I imagine they can't regulate what this needs to be like other states that, so it's inside.
Filters at the bottom.
The filtered water actually enters these slots, and then you can see the internal holes, and so then the clean water is going out.
And a significant upgrade to their backwash system, which is seen here in time lapse, in which the pools are aerated and then flushed upwards to clean those filters.
Hey, I don't think y'all caught this. I'm sorry.
Holes, and so then the clean water is going out.
Yeah, this was after I took a shit, y'all. Watch this. Oh, the system couldn't handle me. That was right after me. Oh, dropping some.
And a significant upgrade to their backwash system, which is seen here in time lapse, in which the pools are aerated and then flushed upwards to clean those filters.
That looks like sewer.
The concrete's from the 20s, and they really knew how to do concrete back then, so it's incredibly solid.
Yeah, an impressive old building from a century ago. Now this goes hand in hand with also work to replace the pipes. You know, there's a lot of aging infrastructure underground, whether it's sewer or water, and there's an ongoing program here too to replace all the pipes that deliver the water as well. Live in Fridley, Rob Olson, Fox.
That's a crappy dam. Y'all, that was a crappy dam if there's ever a crappy dam. That is a crappy dam like a mug. And so most of your cities, you know, remember, your water system is not any newer. I mean, it's just the way it is. Your systems are not any newer. You live in these big cities, you live in a city like New York, their water system.
Government just released.
Their water system goes back to the 1800s and something, y'all. I mean, their system is incredibly old. So, let's see. Oh, there we go. Let's see. They rigging it for LeBron. Hey, CWS.
Got to have vision.
Thank you for joining me. They rigging it for LeBron. These phones are watching us. I got recommended something I was thinking about. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Nico, what's happening?
Got to have vision.
Thank you for joining. Sounds good, but I wonder how efficient it really is. Oh, that's a good point. I really don't hear a lot, but I mean, they have, you know, around this whole area and these other smaller places too. Remember, we got a lot of Twin Cities suburbs, and the suburbs have had overflows where, you know, sewer got into the water system or the storm drain. Remember, the storm drain system, they collect that too. You know, they collect that runoff of storm drains as well. So, and how often do they collect water from the Mississippi would be interesting, because most of the times these systems are pretty self-contained. It's like they're very efficient at recapturing the water. I mean, the water you take a shower with, it's not wasted. It goes back to the system. So it's a very, you know, your water systems, unless you live out where you've got a well and a septic tank. But if you live in a city, yeah, your water's, but again, it's old water. Keep that in mind. That's why it's better to, if you can, have salt in your water. It's really better for your skin, because this other stuff, we just can't say what we're really getting. We can't say what we're really getting. Not wholeheartedly. And I want to say early, we're starting in, it is Thursday, yeah, because my trash is out in front. So, we're getting into the Mother's Day weekend, which was interesting because, gosh, I should look up this thing, what she said about what's coming, if you guys want to hear some star shit. But also, this month we've got the Day Out of Time, which is going to be the 26th. So that's a great way to contemplate. That's a great day. This is the Mayan this is the Mayan long count. So that's coming up as well. And that's what I threw at her. I was like, and it's like, I always show this codex here, the Codex Dresden, but this is like this time of year. Like if you just, start the pattern here, what they're trying to put out, they're putting all the energy out. And I don't know if Pinterest will even have any of this. But they start putting this energy out. And again, you see, as I say, when I start showing all the gods, this is some of the omen or omic gods as well. Some of these gods are gods that just have letters. But as I've said before, again, we see the death. We see the death god here. And again, when I talk about the talak that turns into, later, the transformation, but we see one aspect of that type of God. And we see these other aspects of him again. And so they're all trying to cycle these gods. Again, this is a completely different, let me get the light on it. There we go. And these are all dates up here. These are all dates. And this is how they cycle it. And it gets so thorough. Like if what you see here, it gets so thorough. And what's interesting, they have a god that's really called, he's kind of, the way it translates is unknown or beyond. He's not the highest god, but that's how this god is looked at. Like there's no real name for him. These other gods kind of all fall in to names. And it's showing cycles, but it's showing growing cycles. And let me show you how, well, right here is a perfect example. Now we have an omen god here. That's the black god. But what they're telling you is you have to, you have to look at the plants that you'll start seeing, you'll start seeing these kind of varmints. All right. And then we have where he wants to, that's the Talak god, the water god. And so this, like, as you look at a star chart, this is still to this day. So here, they're telling you in this cycle to look out for these kind of bugs, which are, these are caterpillars, or these are crickets, locusts. Again, a kind of varmint, little cat. And another kind of birds, the birds that can eat the seeds too. So they're preparing you all for the growing season for the time of Venus. This is all aligned with Venus. So this is all like right now. And it's still just as accurate. And so, yeah, it was just interesting that maybe I'll read it, this lengthy, and see if you really look at what's happening here is like, this is kind of towards the end, but it's still cool showing this because I can show it close enough. You see, corn plant, God giving the nourishment to the plant. Again, nourishment right in the plant, where the water god actually puts his finger, right directly in the plant. And this is the end of that cycle. See, you have to have the corn up. That's what it's saying. So I don't know. So people that is out there too. Now, is that the only thing? No, that ain't the only thing, but that's just something to consider. This time of year is a very special time of year going into the solstice. Again, we're in the time of the long days. Man, if I stay on, what time is it now? It's 2 o'clock. If I stay up till 4, I'll start hearing birds at 3:15, 3:30. It's about to be light at 6. And I'm really kind of mad I didn't get up and play this morning. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to this coming morning because it's going to rain. So I'll look forward to playing in the afternoon. You got to be down there anyway. So, get me a little workout if the weather participates. The weather helps out. Get me another out in because, you know, coming Saturday and Sunday, it's stuff to do with both days. Got some kind of festivity. What else? Yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. This is interesting. Let me see if I can find the other one. Now I want to hear this. But there was another one before this. Where was that story? No. It's not this far. Where was the girl? It was a picture of a girl. I don't see it. Oh well. Right here though. I know the other part is right here. Okay. I did not. Okay, let's check this out. I did not know about this, so I'm not sure. A lot of states are pushing for this. So let's see. Let's see what they tell. We got to get the people what they want. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give y'all what y'all want. Up here in the Great White North. This is all Great White North stories.
Reached a deal that would provide free tuition for eligible students. So residents whose families earn less than $80,000 annually, starting in the 2024-25 academic year, would be eligible under the new agreement. If the full House and Senate accept this language, qualifying Minnesotans would no longer have to take on debt to get a public college degree. According to the agreement, the free tuition program, it's called North Star Promise, would cost about $117 million in its first year and then $49.5 million every year after that. Qualifying students would have to attend a 2 or 4 year school at either the University of Minnesota, a school in the Minnesota state systems, or a tribal college. Private college tuition would not be covered.
Wow. Well, y'all know I'm broke, so my daughter's set. My daughter is set. Oh, no. Oh, no. Because I'm broke, y'all. I'm broke. I am broke. I am broker than broke, so my daughter qualifies. I am Mr. Broke, and so I'm going to be like, hey, I'm broke. How much did they say? No, I make $5 a year, just $5 a year. And I think Barbara, Super Sly, Lorenzo, so maybe about 20, that's all I made. So wouldn't that be enough? They said, that's way under. That's way under what they're talking about. So my daughter, I got my son, he's only 20. He works. Dang, he works, but he might make too much. But yet, I don't know. I don't think he makes that much. And next month, when I turn 62, I can go to the U. They won't let me go free, but they'll let me go for $10 a credit hour. Yes. I'm going to get my degree in talking more shit. You dig? They got degrees like that. They like, look, black man, you come up in there and just, what do you want to look at and study? I was like, well, a bunch of shit. They like, we got it up here. I can go in your library? You can go in the library. Like anytime and read all your good books? Like all of them. And I can hang out and look at young chicks walking around and go to the class and say hello and be friendly? Yes, you can do all that. Like, wow. Would they let me hoop? He said they wouldn't let me hoop. It's like, man, I think I could still hoop. I was like, but that's me. I'm gonna be gopher geared, so get prepared. I'm gonna be gopher geared up. May all their gear is champion. I love gopher gear. So it's not a bad deal. Not really a bad deal. Because I mean they know. See, this is where my children, well, not my children's generation, but my daughter's mother and her generation and my fiance, their generation, people 10 years younger than me, they all had to pay to go to college and rack up these hundred thousands of dollars worth of debt. I know one lady personally, I know her, she has $400,000 in college debt. That's the max you can get. And the worst thing about it all, it was collusion by the government and it was collusion by the business against the people. That was collusion to tell you. I mean, look at what they also did. They took all the trades out of the high schools. Now, as I said, 44 years ago, when I graduated from high school in 79, all that exists. Building houses, electrician, auto mechanic, woodworking, metalworking. All these were taught in the high schools. My best friend, I've said, my best friend, if he would have kept his sanity, his scholarship was way better than mine. He was going to Adrian, Michigan on a full football and academic scholarship. At a private, one of the most prestigious and private colleges in Michigan. And I forgot to mention him. When I say guys that I grew up with, he did get a college. He did get a scholarship to play football. I take it back. Thyron Moore did too. He just wasn't able to stay because he had kind of had some mental issues. Which is, one of the saddest stories of my generation, really. A guy that was just a beautiful guy. I mean, he was one of the most, just a beautiful way about him. Like, people don't understand when you meet people when you're young and you just you meet a person when you're like 8 or 9 and the next 7, 8 years, he's one of your guys. I mean, I could call him like, man, I don't really want to walk home. It's cold. You come get me. 3 and 4 in the morning, he'd come get me. I remember when I played basketball, I said, man, be the manager so we can still hang out. And he told me, he's like, no, I'm going to work for McDonald's. That's what he told me. It's like, no, man, I got to get this money working for McDonald's. It's like, man, because I loved hanging out with him. I loved seeing him every day. I mean, this was like one of my greatest friends that we started football together. Like literally from little boys, we started football. From the time we were 4th grade, we played football together until our high school. And I think about it, there's no one else that's like that. Like the other guy I tell you that went to Western Michigan, Dave. And Dave's a whole story too. Dave is a multimillionaire. He sells housing oil. Guy lived around the corner from me. But anyway, Thyron, from the time we were in 4th grade until we graduated. Now, he was never a real hooper, but he wrestled, but he wrestled and he played football. And like, if you really look at how people develop, and it's like people develop around you. And like for me, instance, I played quarterback. So, it's like I was doing my thing from the beginning. He was one of the dudes that played and stayed with it. Now, he did his thing when we played rocket football. He did do his thing. I'll say that. When we were younger, we had one play where I'd fake it to him in the middle and he'd run down the sideline. I got a nice touchdown to him one time. Loved to play defense, but really, coming up is because he didn't play a lot in 8th grade. He didn't play a lot in 9th grade. 10th grade, he started playing. In his junior year, he didn't play a lot. I started. And then senior year, he kind of came into his own. He was a starting defensive cornerback, and he came into his own. And that's all the film he had on himself from that year. But from his academics, because one day he had some drafting shit, and I'm like, what is this shit? And he was like, yeah, I take these classes. So the scholarship he got probably cost more than what Dave and mine did. Because I know my shit wasn't shit. My shit. What was it? This is no cap. My freshman year, the scholarship was like $500. Like it's semester. I don't even think it was $500 that first semester. Like my total scholarship was less than $1,000. And I'm from out of town. I'm from out of state. My total scholarship back in 1979 was less than $1,000 from out of state. Maybe it was like 800 maybe that first semester, and 800 that second semester. Yeah, that's what I think it was. I think it was $800 out of state tuition. That's what my scholarship was. It was $800 the first semester. It was $800 the second semester. And that's shit. And my parents still didn't send me nothing. Had to beg for a fan. Like, dang, can't send me a fan? I'm up here hot, burning down the charts. All right, quit showing off. Why do you always want to go that way? Go the other way. There's no question. You can go the other way. Go the other way. No, not indecisive. Go the other way. Oh my goodness, attitude. Say your stuff will give you attitude. I haven't asked you any questions, so there's no way you can't go the other way. You can rock back and forth, but you can't go the other way. I don't know if you guys caught that. Okay, that's showing off. You guys catching that? It's skipping. You seen it skip? No, skip like that again. Do that move. I gotta replay that. That was a different move. Okay, you're still just going the right one way. Okay, that's no good. Go the other way. Yeah, the other way. That means this way. Move this way. Don't shake like you don't know. You can go, yes, that way. Okay, don't start a couple times and then go to shaking. See, things like this are temperamental. They're temperamental. Man. So yeah, my daughter will qualify. I'm broke. You guys can tell I'm broke. I'm broke, and my daughter will qualify. They'll come to me and say, "Big Pontiac, did you make less than Did you make less than 80,000?" I'm like, "Yes, I only made like $6-7, baby. $6-7. The whole year I made like $30. I think really the whole year I might have made $800. Yeah, I was rolling. I was rolling. It was I put a video out there of a dude chasing another dude, and the dude got knocked down, and a lot of people liked it, and they sent me $800 after I did that. That was it. So that's far short of your goal. And they take her right in. And we'd be like, "Thank you." But she doesn't want to go here. She doesn't want to go here. So that would be bogus to want to go somewhere else instead of staying here. And she'll probably have the grades. My other daughter got her scholarship straight up scholarship as a junior. When you have children, and this is it. This is no diss to my children, but this is reality. From my own reality, when you have children with smart people, the children tend to be smart. And if you have children with not so smart people, sometimes the children seem to be, some be smart and some don't be smart. And that's the dice you roll. That's what I see. That's what I see. And that's my own experience. And from looking at others, I've been around a lot of children. And I'll say this, children born in the 90s, I can't even just say that. It's like, it's funny how people don't really know how to parent. People don't. People don't know how to parent. Not really. Not really. I've come across more people this last 20 years that don't know how to parent than I've ever been around in my life. It makes me wonder, how do the people even function? And it's not just total dysfunction and abuse. I don't even mean that. I mean just normal people that's just working, but they really don't know how to be parents. I mean, it is amazing. And there's no book, there's no guide, again, other than your own life. But it amazes me to watch. And I've watched old people that really don't know how to be parents and watch children. Now, I've been around older people that don't know how to watch their children. They just don't watch them. I mean, they when their children are social, I've watched parents that just don't know how to watch their children in social environments. And it's something, I don't know what's in the parents to figure that because I'm in a social place that I don't have to watch my children, because that's what happens sometimes. Now, I've watched other people just the way they function. Like, I'll tell this story. I know a parent, he was having troubles with his wife and they had a baby and he kind of had the children. And it's like he expected his 9 or 10-year-old daughter to take care of his newborn baby or his young baby. By then, the little boy was probably one or so, but still needed a diaper. And had to be told by his sister to take care. He's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? That's your child. That is not her responsibility. And parents will do that. They will stress the older children and make the older children watch the younger children, so they can play video games, or they can go smoke a blunt, or they can go eat something. And so I've witnessed these stories too. I mean, when my children and my exes, we were all together, we all ate together. That was something my fiance, when it's just mostly her and I, but when we cook, we eat at the table. She's used to eating in front of the TV, and no, when we cook, we eat at the table. My daughter's over here. If we ain't out and we cook, we all eat at the table. My big goofy son you see coming on here every now and then, same thing. He comes over, we grill. Now, if we grill, we might eat outside. But if we cook inside, we go, now this summer we could cook inside and go outside. But if we don't, normal, we'll eat at the table. Just how it just shows that helps. That helps, that repetition with your children, your family. I watched a cool video of a dude, got up every morning, took care of the baby, got his 2 little girls ready. And I had to do something very similar. Very similar, take care of the children, get the children off so the mother can leave and what she got to do. Because when we leave, we all leaving, and we all going in different ways. Different children going different spots. And I thought it was beautiful. I mean, there's so many negative about relationships and things, and it showed how it can be handled. It was beautiful the way he showed that making the lunches and stuff with the daughters. I thought that was beautiful. If you saw a clip, I don't know if I saw it on Facebook or this, but I thought it was beautiful the way he helped, the family helped out. And his daughters were old enough where they helped him cook breakfast while he tended to the baby. Because the baby was probably 8, 9 months old. Could be left on the floor, but it wouldn't go too far. It was like, wasn't fully just taking off crawling. It was like just kind of get to crawling, so it just stayed. It wouldn't go far. But I thought that was beautiful. Then the wife gets up, she wakes up, she eats. Then when everybody leave, they leave, and that's you know, it's like the old shows used to be Leave It to Beaver and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Oh, sounds good, but I wonder, they need people in those college seats. More people are turning away, and a lot is still online. A lot is still online. You know, no doubt about that. It's going to be interesting because I live from campus. From campus, I live, man, I really have to think. I bet I live good 30 minutes or more, 35 minutes from campus. But I could catch a bus that would take me over there. It would take me downtown where I could take the trains. The bus would take me to the train, and I could take the train to campus. If not train to campus, it'd take me to a bus. I wonder how long that would take me, especially with messed up weather. Get on the train, had to take the heater, because, you know, the weirdos be on the train and shit. Had to take the heater on the train. You better not mess with that guy. That guy might pull his heater out on you. Like, what would you do? You on the train and somebody's, you know, smoking a joint and shit, you know, or you drinking, or somebody's smoking some crack. What do? What can you do? He ain't bothering me. That's what I would say. If I'm in a circumstance where I got to take the train, what can I say? You want to go over there and smoke your crack across from me, mister? Now, secondhand crack smoke is bad for my health. But on the other hand, how long am I going to be around him? And the benefit is you might get a contact. And he blows it out. You're like, ooh, that gave me memories. You have some shit on your mind for about 10 seconds. And that's why you just say no. I would only take the train if it was a storm and I had a test. But it is a ways away. It is a ways away. But a lot of it, satellite campuses, I'm sure I can take. So a lot of it online. I know I'm gonna have to take a African American history class, because there 40 years ago, you didn't really have to take a foreign language. I took my foreign language in like 7th grade, maybe 7th, 8th. 1 year French, 1 year Spanish. Did worse in Spanish than French. But yeah, a lot of people are turning. Well, again, like the state, for example, a lot of their jobs, they stopped putting college requirements. Because again, it was collusion against the people. Our government and all these companies colluded against us again. I'm repeating myself, because that's what happened. And they forced you into thinking you needed these degrees to go into debt. It was all a scam. It's all a scam. And they knew that the people, people, one lady talked about she only borrowed like $20,000 and she ended up having to pay damn near $60,000 for borrowing 20. And we'll see how much, Biden cuts of people, because that's not a bad lick. The people that benefit off getting the college cut from Biden, that's not a bad lick. So those of you that benefit, I hope you applied, because it was a one-time offer. And if you didn't apply, you won't get what other people gonna get, because they applied. Man, that rent stuff up here was a big lick. That, oh my goodness, they was paying rent like a motherfucker. They paid one girl's rent was 30 grand. This chick had, her rent was like $2 grand a month. So they paid damn near a couple years of her rent. With that COVID stuff, they was paying, it was licks, where legally you could just get your rent paid. If you qualified, you could get your rent paid. And I mean, some of these people, again, when your rent over $2,000 and they gonna pay it because you applied to get it paid during COVID, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars that went to. A lot of people got that. A lot of people got that. So it was a nice little lick. People wasn't paying the landlords mad, but landlords, nothing they could do. It's like, I couldn't make you leave if I wanted to. I want to put you in the street, but I can't. Yeah, I can't because the law says you got to stay. So, a lot of people got ghetto fabulous. I went and bought this, I went and got this. I went and bought this hat. No, that's a lie. I had the hat. Sorry, I forgot I was getting carried away. And I didn't buy this either then. I had this. So I'm sorry. I guess I'm kind of confused tonight. But maybe the shirt. Yeah, I bought the shirt. See that? And I'm funky tonight. I had to look. This is the pickleball outfit. I've got a pair of Adidas shorts on, and I've got this just silky silk. Yeah, this is silk. This silky. Yeah, silky. With the pocket, the cigarette pocket right here. This is what I pickleball in. When I looked at myself, I was still having sweat and stuff. So I didn't go to any stores when I got done. I came straight home. But I had like the salt right here. So I had to wipe all that off before I came to be fabulous for y'all. Oh, 2 hours, y'all. I've been going for 2 hours. Oh, this is a good first night out. It's going to rain in the morning, so I really don't have to get up. Because I'm really not leaving the house till about 3 or 4. I said I'm not gonna leave the house until 3 or 4.
Shit, bro, I'm trying to make me some money.
That's why I'm leaving the house at 4.
Shit, bro, I'm trying to make me some money.
And that's why I'm leaving the house at 4.
Shit, bro, I'm trying to make me some money.
That's it. I'm trying to make me some money. There's no money in pickleball, you silly old man. That is true. But there's money in staying healthy. There's money in having friends and socialization. Oh. Oh, no.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
I don't know. I don't know what he wants here. I do know. I'm into mood. I'm just in the mood. I'm in the mood. Ah, that's like a fresh joint of, ooh, where's the one they don't really like? Where's my other man? Where's my other man at? Not you. Ah, here we go. They don't like when I play that. But that makes you feel so good. Just that first little blast there. Makes you feel good. They don't like that. I think that makes me feel good. So they don't like when you just, that little bit you're trying to, you put that little bit together and really, that just attracted 1,000 people to me. Like, hey, that 1,000 people like because he played that little bit of Curtis. I can't just feel good with the music. It's all about, well, we own that. What? Really? All of it? It's not any tunes? What did he just say? There's a lot of different ways to play it. If I speed it up, is it the same thing? If I speed it up, is that the same thing? It's not. It's used in a completely different way. Can I just get a sample clearance? Curtis Mayfield people, just give me a sample clearance. You have enthusiastic, very good-looking, middle-aged man. Natural-born man. And I just want a little Curtis Mayfield in my life for the people that's out there. And you want to deny me of Curtis Mayfield. You want to deny the people of Curtis Mayfield. And nobody cares about Curtis Mayfield. Nobody cares. You hitting people with this stuff and nobody cares about it. We're trying to get people to listen to the stuff. Do you dig? Some of the stuff nobody cares about. This stuff is buried. You hear it on a commercial every 20 years. Hey, I remember that. But I want people to feel it and feel good about it. It's just comedy. Now we need to check in with my homeboy Nick. What's happening, Nick?
Me and Bubba trying to rescue some kittens.
That is noble. Thank you, brother Nick, for checking in. And we're glad that you're just doing something noble.
Off my dome, this is actually taught by the people who are ancestors of the Mayans in
It's taught by them. What is that? Everybody needs some flute in their life. Flute in your life. You need some flute in your life. Don't you need flute in your life? When the last time you heard some flute? When has the last time you heard some flute? I sat on the same field. That's Bobby Humphreys, baby. Bobby Humphreys. I sat on the same field as her. And what is his name? BLL, Brian Logan. I stood on the same field in the Meadowlands where the Jets and the Giants played, where we were playing South Carolina State. And before the game, Bobby Humphreys is 50 yards away from me, pretty little, short little sister, and she's holding the flute. Up there. It's hiding from me. Up there. 2 hours and 30 minutes. I guess this is good for tonight. I've said everything I wanted to say. Let me see. The first game with the Knicks winning. Charles Barkley called it before the game. The first game with the Knicks, Charles Barkley called that the Knicks was going to win. I don't know if y'all remember that. And then Shaq said he agreed. Said, yeah, I agree too. And the Knicks won. So that didn't surprise me. Jimmy Butler played and they still lost. So that didn't surprise me. Again, look at the effort on both sides. The effort is always different. I mean, the program is still great, but the effort is always different, the way we look at the effort. And that's definitely what we saw with the Lakers. And I mean, Anthony Davis. Did you hear what they said to Anthony Davis at the end? They said Anthony Davis was taken off in a wheelchair. I'm going to try to, I got to download some broken glass. And I'm going to try to get me a video of every time Anthony Davis falls down. Because every time he falls down, I'm going to get a broken glass sound. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a broken glass sound and every time he falls down. This is really, if things were real, think of it as a pickup game. Think of it as a pickup game where the world is watching and you get hit on the side of a forehead and you quit. Now, I watched the dude. I watched a dude play with me one time. Very similar hit. He quit. And I knew he was soft. Dude just caught him where he wasn't really prepared, caught him with a shot. He quit like that. But do you know hooping and how hooping is? Dude done hit you with a bow. How quick you want to come back and, get him? Not, and don't even run back. Like it's fake it is fake. Okay, if you are so knocked out and so concussed, then fall down and rest. Because if you fall down, they got to stop the play. They got to stop the play when they can stop the play. I mean, do you understand? If you're in street ball and a dude just hit you with a good bow, you might be stunned, but damn if your natural instincts ain't to run back. No matter what somebody does to you, your natural instinct is to run the other way and hold yourself. It's not to just sit there. And it's like his whole thing in LA is, is Anthony hurt because he's just like a piece of bubble gum. He's just easy to mold. He gets out of form very easy. And then they had to throw in, he had to be wheelchaired. Really? Really? He had to be wheelchaired back to the locker room? Really? Your natural reaction on getting hit is to run back the other way. He didn't get poked in the eye. He just got hit upside his head. Your natural reaction ain't just to stand there. Your natural reaction is to turn and run and hold your head. because you don't want to let your teammates down. But they want to make you think he like took the hardest sock. Yeah, AD. James got hurt, twisted his ankle. Yeah, on that one play, he kind of came down funny. But yeah, AD is so soft. And welcome. Thank you, JC, for joining.
Got to have vision.
For coming to see me. So that's what we saw, so we wasn't surprised. It was interesting when Barkley made that statement. And then Shaq said, I agree with you. And oh my goodness, I criticized Barkley, and they've really made a better effort with him. The three-piece suits make him not look as sloppy. The tie he wore tonight was the bomb. Barkley really looked good tonight. I'm glad he looks better. They put better effort, but the tie was the bomb. I was really impressed with the way he looked, because a lot of times he be, lacking compared to the other three. He's a funny built guy. The way he's built is awkward, so a lot of clothes just don't fit him well, which is, that's his size and his weight is a lot of how it is. So, when they look good, I say they look good. Like when we looked over the video earlier I did. The sister looked good. But when I show you people from Wisconsin, you see how they look. Because again, say it with me. The ugliest people in the country live in Wisconsin. And you ask me how I know. I refereed the Wisconsin-Illinois border for 20 years. Doing high school, grade school, basketball. And would see no less than little girl teams. Oh, wasn't unthought of to see. Wow. I would do 10 games a day. So you add that up. Say if I just did little girls all day. And all these, 10 teams with 10 players. With 10 ugly parents. So you would start with ugly children with an ugly coach. Then you would see the ugly parents. And before you know it, you was surrounded by a bunch of ugly people. And the good thing about that is I looked very good around these ugly people. Chicks is checking me out and stuff. So that's the good thing about it. They're not used to seeing very handsome, beautiful people. So I liked it. I was cool. Hey. Other than like having to almost beat up Tony Kukoc, because I would have mocked Tony Kukoc. And I'll tell that story again. He chased me. I called traveling on, this was 5th grade basketball. 5th grade basketball. We had a tournament in Forest Lake, I think is what Chicago is. Because I think here we have Lake Forest. I think it's called Forest Lake, Illinois. Now it's almost on the border. And I called traveling. And I hear a guy behind me say, "That's not traveling." I mean, a heavily accent. I'm hearing that behind my shoulder. So I made my call. I run down the other way, just like everybody else, because I made a call. They gave up the ball. Everybody else runs down the other way. And I get down the other way, and I'm hearing this, "That wasn't traveling." Like, what the hell? And I turn around, and Tony Kukoc is literally, I'm not going to say he chased me the other way, but he kind of did chase me the other way. He ran kind of with me. And when I stopped and realized it, I was about to beat his ass. I literally was about to beat this 6'7" dude's ass. And I stepped to him, and all the parents ran up, and I was about to whoop his ass. I was about 35. Probably back then, I would probably weigh 345. Yeah, I would have whooped his ass, because I just straight tackled him and then just pummeled him. Yeah, and I was with it, too. I was about to beat his ass up in that gym. But didn't. The parents pulled him away because he was wrong. He later came apologized. His wife apologized. And he would speak to me after that. because his boy played. And what I liked about him is when I saw his wife, you knew his wife's purse wasn't fake. It was funny. She was like one of the first people I would really see. Like I would see these people almost when basketball season was over. We would see these people every week. Literally see these people every weekend. And his wife would always have, the big old $2,000-$3,000 purses, which was interesting. Around this little boy, little girl basketball. But again, Tony Kukoc was ugly, his wife was ugly, and his son was ugly. They lived in Chicago though, but they were still ugly. Do you remember? Now remember where okay, check this out. Remember what they just said about Water Dukes? They said Water Dukes stinked, right? Remember I read that, and if you look back, go back into where you can see about Water Dukes. And then people said Water Dukes stink. Some dudes said you didn't have to, know he was coming because you could smell him. And they were saying he was funky. He didn't wear deodorant. You know who they said smelled the worst out of any of them immigrants coming over here? Was Tony Kukoc. The way it was described to me was this dude's, you've been around people like this where their skin smells so bad, they smell sour. When people skin smells sour, they have that sour smell to them. That was what was going around Chicago. As this dude was smelling sour when they brought him in. And they didn't even like him being in the locker room because of the way he smelled. Now, you don't never see any story like that. You don't see that about him, but you see how they did Water Dukes. You don't see any story about the other players. That other dude, the dude who got killed in the car accident, they said the same thing about him. The dude who played with Portland and Brooklyn, Petra something. That dude. They said the same thing about him, that he stank too. But you don't see, maybe the guy, and on the other hand, maybe the guy was like, I don't want to put that on me. This deodorant stuff y'all talk about. And maybe he just used soap and water. And he just naturally smelled like deodorant. Because think about it. If you just use soap and water, you're going to have a different smell, but you're not necessarily going to have a nasty smell because you're still using soap and water. So how bad could he really smelled? He probably just had more of a natural smell. Because just think if he used oils and stuff. So he probably just had a really natural smell. I'm capping. He probably stank. He was probably funky. But I'm saying he wasn't the only one. These Europeans was coming over here. These dudes hadn't, they don't shower like we do. You look at where Tony Kukoc and that dude that played with the Rams, they let run the team up in Sacramento, Dovich. Look at the stories when they say these cats was coming in. I ain't the only one that's saying that these dudes was just as stinky. But Tony Kukoc was described as the worst of all. That was the word. He was the worst of all. Now, when I met him, he didn't stink. That was what I was looking for. I will not lie. I'm quantifying. But I was looking for that. Because when he walked up on me, I was seeing him, and I was kind of like at times not far away from him. And I was kind of wondering, did he stink or not? And I'll say he didn't. And again, what year? We'd have to see what year his son was in 5th grade. Because they was 5th grade team. Like the same game, I was getting this boy would do like this. You can't do like that. You can't take the ball and bounce it like that. That's double dribble. And every time he had a bad habit of he would catch the ball and he would power. That's called a power dribble. But you can't bounce the ball with 2 hands. That's double dribble. This is a power dribble, and that's double dribble. You have to, boom, if you got to dribble, don't dribble. Because he would be under the basket, he would still take the dribble. The 2-hand dribble. And that's double dribble. Now, maybe the rules are modified, but back then you could not power dribble the ball. That was the rule. The bigger they are, the harder. I was like, I've told this story before. My brother-in-law is like, my boys are all big. But their uncle is just as big as they are, but he bigger, like way more. And he's 6'5", probably 290. You know, my ex-wife's brother he was a big little boy, and he's a big man. And he literally beat everybody up in the bar. He literally beat all these niggas up in the bar, up the street from my house. I mean, literally beat up. I mean, do you guys know what it looks like when one dude comes up and just goes off and beats up everybody? It was almost, he beat these niggas up like it was a movie, almost. He beat him up like it was a movie, because afterwards they called me and I went to the bar. I forget, I went to the bar when after he calmed down, we got him out of there. But it was funny, just after everything was calmed down and it was telling me what he did, and I'm just looking at the way the bar was. I mean, he literally beat up almost 20 people, if not more. I mean, it was like one of them kind of fights where, and nobody shot him, I'll say this, but he was like 17 or 18. And I'll tell all the circumstance. His mama was a drug addict. So was his sister and all his cousins. And I just think, like, this spot was like where a lot of conning and all that, these drug addicts is, you know, they drinking, but it's like they scheming. And I really think he just was fed up with all of it. You know, he was trying to hang out. And I think all that conniving and maybe some disrespect was like to his mama, because she was up there and his sister's up there conniving and all that. And I think somebody disrespected and he went off. So I'm getting the call and they're like, can you come down here and get your brother? He's fighting everybody and he wants to fight us, but we don't really want to fight him. What can you do? And so I literally lived up the street. So I go down to the bar and he's standing there like they just like left him alone. And I walk up, I'm like, what? Like, really, what do you think is going to go on here? You know they ain't going to leave until you go with them. I mean, like, come on. Like, what happened? He told me what happened, whatever. I'm like, okay, you got to stop. I'm like, I got money. Whatever it's going to cost to get you out, we'll come get you out tonight, all right? Just go with him. Calm the fuck down. Go with him. And that's the true story. That boy beat all the asses. Like, he grabbed one dude just like on the TV. He grabbed one dude and threw him into the bar window. Like on TV. He picked him up. He literally picked this dude up and threw him across into the window. He took another dude and literally raked him through all the glasses. I mean, this shit was like some movie shit. Like, you can see where he threw a dude into the wall. I mean, it was just like he tore the whole place up and like they couldn't get away. He was beating their asses. It was like he was beating their asses, just going like from person to person, beating their asses. They couldn't get away from him. He was beating their ass quicker than they could get out the bar. If they was in the bar, they was getting their ass beat. They couldn't get away. He was like the Hulk on the motherfuckers up in there. Because afterwards I went in there, there was people still laying around. They was still laying around. Oh my goodness. I thought about that. That was so funny back then. And like Keelan would be like, he was like, man, Dad. I was like, ask your mama. Your mama tell you. I done stuffed myself up. What is this? Oh, I can take that. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, man. Oh, I forgot about it, how funny it was. And they asked me, I'm like, ask your mom. Ask your mom. You don't believe me? Ask your mom. Sometimes we just see funny stuff, y'all. And it's like one time she tried to play him and her against their mama, my boy's mama, my ex-wife, was trying to play me against her brother. You know, he had loved me since, he was 5. So, when he's 17, 18, he done known me that long. But that's how crazy she used to think. Because he saw my side. He saw it. He didn't want to fight me. He knew I'd probably shoot him, but he didn't want to fight me, you know. And I'll say this, I never felt that I was shooting because I knew, I knew he wouldn't fight me. Even though he saw both sides. That's what I'll say with him. He saw both sides. I mean, he was with his sister, and he's like, look, just y'all quit arguing. But she tried to use him like that. And I'll say his relationship with me, he wouldn't catch himself. He didn't allow himself to be used. Oh, I'll tell y'all another funny story, and this is a true story. So, and I told this story many times, but this is just how goofy stuff happens to you. So I'm talking shit to my ex, and I'm like we had the kind where we had like the apartment was upstairs, fairly big, lofty, very lofty, and it's like living room, dining room, kitchen, and then the bedrooms was off the dining room. And so I'm literally in, so I'm like 2 rooms away. She's cooking pork chops. She's, and I'm talking shit to her. Talking shit to her. This chick, and again, she's 6'2". Back then I was probably still 6'1". So I'm talking and not paying attention. I'm just talking shit to her. She done pissed me off. I got home. She ain't had my dinner ready. I'm talking shit. She took a raw pork chop, and when I wasn't looking, she threw this motherfucker almost like through 2 rooms, and the shit hit me perfectly. It's like I turned around and pow! A raw pork chop hit me in my face. And the way the house was shaped, we had back stairs. So soon as she threw it, she just took off down the back stairs, and she jumped in her car and she took off. But she got me good. She got me good, and she called me like, you done calm down. I know you want to kill me. But she got me good with a pork chop right to the face. Pow! It couldn't have been more perfect. Like she just, it fling. I wish we could slow motion. Pow! Right in the kisser. My ex-wife brother tried me. I took him from the window to the motherfucking wall. My kids saw it. My son was like 4. He said, dang, daddy. Yes, Lee, but man, I understand. I understand. Like I had to take one of my boys down. His mother he just been giving him grief. And we had an island. It's still the same kitchen where she lived with her new husband. We had an island in the kitchen. And she had already told me he was being disrespectful, so I was just kind of waiting to see. And sure enough, we're sitting there all eating on the island. I don't know if Devin was born, but Brendan was there, so more than likely Devin was born. Devin was probably in a high chair, though. And this sucker he was probably 10 or 11, like my daughter's age now. And we was doing something, and his mother said something to him, and that little nigga said something smart, right? And he's sitting right next to me. And like without because he had been so used to doing it to her, getting smart with her without me being there. And so when he did it around me, I literally grabbed him off the bar stool and I took him to the ground from the bar stool. I slammed him from the bar stool. He's about 11 or 12. I picked him up because he didn't even know what was happening to him. Because again, I'm sitting there listening to this disrespect, and I grabbed him and he went like he flew backwards over the bar stool because I took him, flew him, and I slammed him on the ground. And I was like, who are you talking to? This is your mother. You disrespectful like this now? How do you think we're going to react to you when you get a couple years older? And you know the way I am. I ain't around here every day. I'm around here as much as I can, but I'm like, you are not going to talk to her like that and treat her in this house in the life that you have. And I'll say, because with him, I didn't move here until he was in 10th, 11th grade. I think it was just 2 years of him in high school when I lived here, when I first came here. Yeah, because I came here in 06, he graduated in 08. And so he was respectful to his mama after that. So sometimes you got to do those things, which today would be considered too much. Because I tell my daughter, I knock her out. You can't do that anymore. Like, I can knock you out. They'll come to say, what happened? I knocked her out. Then they'd be okay. Did you revive her? Yes, I did. What did she do? She was disrespectful. That still, in most people's books, is a reason to knock children out. Because what happened when we have a society where children aren't properly, and I'm exaggerating, knocking out. I'm not exaggerating what I did to my son. That's what it took. And he was shook. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't concussed. He was shook up. But it made him respect his mother. All the time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about it. I forgot how funny it was. And don't get me laughing again. I just forgot. I was just picturing the scene going in that bar. Oh yeah. Just going to that bar and seeing what he had done. Because I didn't go to the bar first. I went out because he was out in the street. And they had him like, so they didn't even have him. This is okay. This is what's so interesting. They didn't even have him surrounded. They just had cars like in front of him, and he was like, it's like kind of going down a hill. So the cars, like the club is like, it's like a small little hill where the club sits. And so the next street is like down a little small hill. So like they was just in front of him. No one was behind him at all. Like really, if he'd have just kept, well, he's a big guy, they'd have caught him. But I'm saying there was nothing like, there was no reason he couldn't have just ran backwards, because nobody was down there. It was literally, they was just in front of it waiting for me to come. I mean, it was just goofy ass. I was just looking at it. It reminded me, I'm coming in the street and he's not really surrounded. Now if I said he was surrounded, he wasn't. He was not surrounded. They was just in front of him. And he's just standing there like they got the lights on him and he's just standing there and they're just in front of him. They are not behind him, not really on the side of him. They're just, all the cars are in front of him. This is how goofy the whole scene was. If you imagine walking up on that, where a dude could literally go the other way. Again, he wasn't very fast. I mean, he had to have been that time 380, 390. Easy, like 6'5", 6'6", 380, 390. I mean, a big old arms, a big old, not really, more of a pothead than, not really like a eating gut, but not really a beer gut, like eating gut, big guy. Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny. It's funny, he would say, when he was little, he was just like, when he was little, he was the funnest little dude to body slam because he loved that kind of stuff. Because he was just so chunky. At 5 years old, he was chunky 5 years old. So you could kind of slam him and tickle him and pick him up and then slam him again. He loved that kind of stuff. It's like my boy that's 28, just turned 28. When the first thing I taught him was how to smack people. Because I used to smack him. So we would just be sitting there. So he learned how to smack people. And so, but he only knew how to smack people with his right hand. So I taught him how to smack people, because for me smacking him, and just letting him smack my hand, but he could smack people. And so he was sitting on his great grandmother's lap and he just popped her. He just smacked the shit out of his great grandmother. And my ex-wife just looks at me. And so well, this is a true story. When he would sit on her lap, she would just be blocking him. And so that's what they all learned, is like, he could only slap you from his right hand. So you literally, when the women would hold him from then on, after he smacked his grandmother and he smacked his great grandmother, he would smack the shit out of both of them. So they learned that, he could only smack right-handed. So long as you could keep your hand up, he wouldn't smack you. And that's literally what they did. They would hold him when he was like maybe a year, 12 months, and they literally had to stop him from smacking him by doing this kind of stuff. Or turning him, because once you turn him, he didn't have that hand. He would always want to turn. So he really couldn't, like if you put him on his left hand over here, he was kind of messed up because he didn't know how to backhand. So he would kind of be messed up if you sat him over here, because everything, he wants to smack right hand. He wants to smack. But he smacked them two people. He smacked his grandmother good. And he smacked his just good smacks. And they're yelling with you. I told him he's gonna smack somebody. And I'm like, hey, they hold him like you hold him. He did, because he never smacked his mother, because she watched. She just knew. Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Put him on the other side. But that's just, and these is just experiences. She just looked at me when he smacked her mother. They just both looked at me. It's like, why you keep teaching him that? But it's just how we played. He understood that, and I guess he would smack me. Just I don't know. I don't think I really cared. Just teaching him, but he was a little smacker. But it was funny. Only right hand. He only had one way. He could only go one way, so it was easier to frustrate him. But they would hold him like this, like it was Kung Fu Parrot. Like she got good with one arm because he would be right here, and she would just put her one arm up. She would just, I mean, this is how she would watch him. She would just sit there like talking to everybody like nothing's going on, but she is stopping this baby from smacking the shit out of her. I mean, I used to just be high and looking at this shit. She would do him like this. This is how they'd hold her. If they somebody else, they would do the same thing. Just stop him from smacking you. So, just real experiences. Well, I think I better call it. It's 3 a.m. Thank you guys. Thank you for laughing with me. Oh yeah, he slapped her grandmother. The great grandmother was the best one because it was that he brought it from Mississippi and pow, right, got her. It's like, oh, because she was kind of like spacey anyway, and he slapped her and it was like woke her to her senses a little bit. He like put a bright idea in her mind. And then they never was like duck to, you got him here, I'd just back up. He couldn't reach me, he just back up. He couldn't reach me. Like if he's sitting way out here, I'd just back up in the chair and he couldn't reach me. He would have to scoot to reach me, and I would just put my body on him or something. I'd get close to him and be holding him like this. It was just how smart him. But yeah, he was a little right hand smacker. Pow, get you. Oh. 8 million stories. Well, thank y'all. I will be on tomorrow around, I don't know if I'm going to sit with the game or not, depending what we do. But yeah, I'll be on around 12-ish. So, if you tune into your radio and you don't see me by 1:15, maybe I'm not coming on. But give me at least to 1:15, you check your radio to see if Chocolate Mountain Show is on. So thank y'all. What? You want to watch who? No, you guys don't want any of that tonight. No Smokey tonight. No Smokey. We don't want Smokey. No Smokey tonight. No Smokey tonight. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'm your host, Big Pontiac. Till we meet again, say less. Ooh.
Hump, baby. Shit, bet I'd do it over time. Fade that nigga. Shit. Bar, bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What? My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What? My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
Hump, baby. Shit, bet I'd do it over. Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing.
Damn! You ain't got to say that to me, man. That's pretty rough. Oh.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
My eye, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling. You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
You're a philosopher? Yes. Yeah. You're a philosopher? Yes. 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 You're a philosopher? Yes.
All right, baby. Thank you for being with me till we meet again.